Okay, we are live. Sorry, I froze Danya. Danya, can you say something to make sure chat can hear you? Okay, they don't hear you yet. Sorry, that's on my end. 1 second.
Worries.
Okay, fixed. All right, Danya, I think they can hear you now. Can we try again?
Awesome. Let me try. It's great
Awesome.
to be here. Hello, everybody.
Hi, chat. Sorry. I'm so sorry about the scuffness. Anyways, we are finally live. I'm here. Wait. Everyone can hear him, right? Can I get a yes? Okay, the prophet. Everyone's saying hi, Danya. I think so. All right, guys. I'm so nervous. This is Alex's first chess tournament in years. So we have a live cam from Canada. She just traveled to Kingston. She literally got there this morning, left last night at 10 a.m. It was like 2 flights, 1 train ride. So we are going to have a live cam. There's also going to be a DGT board from the tournament, which takes a couple minutes to update. But I'm going to have the awesome co-commentator Danya here to help me kind of, understand the French a little bit better. So I'm very excited.
Well, Andrea, thanks again for the opportunity. I'm really honored to be here and to commentate Alexandra's game with you. Obviously, I've been a big fan for a while, so really appreciate it, and I'll do my best to illuminate all of the magic that happens on the board, and I've got my fingers crossed.
No, yeah, I'm honestly honored. And Danya's not a fan, but he's a great friend, and he's doing us a huge favor helping. I was so nervous to do this on my own. I hope we do get a game. We'll give it a little bit of time to update from the tournament end. But until then, we can kind of introduce what she's playing for and what the stakes are. So Alex is playing in. Oh, I'm sorry. Danya keeps freezing because of my Discord links. She's playing in the Canadian Women's Zonal Chess Championships. If she places top 3, she is going to qualify for the Olympiad, which is pretty much the biggest goal. That might even be Botez Abroad Season 2. So first round, since she's in the higher seed, she's in the higher half, she gets paired with someone lower rated. Her opponent is about 1900 FIDE, but Hammer did some deep digging and said that she's actually much stronger, so it could still be a very close game.
Yeah, definitely. And you sort of have to shake off the butterflies in your stomach, especially, and I know all about not playing for a long time and then playing again. I feel like Alexandra will quickly get into the swing of things. She just has to get through the opening in a good position. And having the white pieces in round 1, Andrea, I think is also a really good thing. Because, I know Alexandra's everybody's more comfortable with white. So I think she'll be good. We'll see how the opening goes.
Yeah, what I was thinking, I guess we would have... if the DGT board doesn't update, we're lucky because we have our own. Oh.
Yeah, we can puzzle out the moves, I think, right?
Yeah, worst case.
We'll
give it like another 5 minutes. I really hope it updates, but who knows? The top 3 boards in the tournament have DGT boards, and we're accessing this online from the arbiters. So what's the time control? Let me pull up all the information. Sorry, chat. Alright, here it is. Oh, Danya? Did he disconnect? Oh, I think we lost Danya. Okay, we lost Danya. Oh, I disconnected. Oh, that was me. Danya, sorry, I didn't. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna touch anything. I accidentally removed Danya. Okay.
It's been real.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I think we're fine. Okay, here's all the information. So today, she just has 1 round. Tomorrow, there's going to be 2 rounds. We're going to be blessed to have some Hammer commentary. Thanks! Good to see you, GM Hess. Yes, it is Alexandra on the board. We can't see your game just yet, but hopefully soon. As I was saying, so
Hammer...
Yeah.
Hammer, I think, has a theory of what's going on. He thinks it's a Catalan with B3.
Okay, should we just put in our own moves at this point?
Let's try, and then we can have Hammer and Hess sort of cross-check it. So D4 for sure. Good. Move 1. Right?
Yeah.
We know for a fact.
Hammer was also prepping Alex and studying the opening, so I would trust that Hammer can guess what might happen in the game so far.
Now, we don't know whether Black played this through a Nimzo move order or through a Queen's Gambit decline move order. It doesn't matter because the position is the same. So let's assume that she played D5, C4, E6, and now the Catalan by Alexander, Knight F3, Knight F6, G3. So you can see that bishop in the corner, fianchettoed on G2. And now
We're
I
trying to
think
piece
black
the
has
puzzles.
bishop on e7 and knight on d7. I'm trying to figure out where black's kingside pieces are.
All right. Yeah, I wish.
I think this happened. Bishop b4 and bishop b7. And then I think Alexander played bishop g2. Black played c6. So I think we have this position.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you because you are the prophet, so you just can't go wrong in these situations. Oh, he said no, the bishop is on c1.
Oh, bishop hasn't come to d2. So I guess black played bishop e7 straight away.
Okay, thanks. Honestly,
Thank you,
Danya
Hammer.
here saving the day, since the DGT board is not updating. It's a puzzle, we're all trying to figure it out.
This is actually kind of cool.
I can
C6,
also...
b3. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can share the Zoom call, but it doesn't make much of a difference. I can try to full screen this and see fight.
I think it's this position, knight c3, knight bd7. I'm pretty sure we have this position on the board.
Okay, I was full screen.
95% sure.
Yeah. That looks correct.
We got it.
Okay, all right, we're going to follow from this. All right, so right away, I don't think this is Alex's immediate openings, Hammer. I don't know if you're in the chat, but I'm assuming this is something that they had prepared together. Oh, yeah, we'll get into eval bar.
So Alex is not a Catalan player, Andrea. What does
No.
she usually play mainline Queen's Gambit declined?
That's a good question. I don't really follow her openings very much because I like to roast her openings. But
Right.
the coaches in the chat would know, and I especially don't. I really only know what she plays against my setup. So I've seen her a little bit play the Queen's Gambit decline, but she doesn't play G3. I think chat would know best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing confirmation in the chat. And I think in terms of openings that, this is not a very difficult opening to sort of improvise in as long as she's making healthy developing moves. White is super, super solid. There's a plan here of trying to prepare e2, e4 and expand in the center, try to get rid of the d pawn. So queen c2 here would be natural, or just developing the bishop to b2, I think is also pretty normal. I don't play the Catalan either, so I'm generally clueless in the opening.
It seems like a pretty natural opening that she could play. I'm assuming this is all theory, but Alex is thinking here. Hammer, are you in the chat? Do you know how far ahead you prepped in this line? I'm very curious if Alex is now thinking on her own time and coming up with her plan, or if she's still in prep.
And Andrea, I think I zoned down when you said it. What is the time control?
She's out of prep. Okay, she's out of prep, but the position looks good. Okay, the time control I have right here. So 90 minutes for the first 40 moves, followed by 30 minutes for the rest of the game, and then there's also 30 seconds increment per move, so we're going to not have any Botez flagging, unfortunately.
That's a good time control, pretty standard.
It's nice to see everyone in the chat. I see GM Hess and Hammer, all her coaches are in the chat. I think it's good that she makes taking her time, that way she doesn't make a quick move and regret it. Yep. It's nice to see
that kind of support is great. And her opponent getting up from the board, looking at some of the other games.
Yeah, which is... Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm no longer going to be searching for time control so we don't lose Danya.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Yeah, I always get irritated when people leave so early, but honestly, it makes sense because she probably knows her lines and Alex is out of the books. So sometimes it can make you a little bit nervous, but it's very common in these tournaments.
What annoys me is sometimes when my opponent gets up and stands over the board.
Yeah.
Like if you're walking around the playing hall looking at the other games, okay, but some people actually go around and they look from my side of the board.
Yeah.
And I find that to be disconcerting. Like you look behind you and your opponent's just standing there. Like, do you really need to look at it from the other perspective?
Okay, she's back. Yeah, and while we're also, I don't know if this, I guess we can't do this, but hopefully if the DGT boards at some point improve, we can also check out the top 3 boards. Like I see in the background, there's Svetlana Demchenko, one of the top Canadian female players. I used to get destroyed by her all the time, but we don't have that freedom just yet today, since I see the link is still not working. So we'll follow just Alex.
So, Andrea, for you to educate me a little bit on Canadian chess. So this tournament is separate from the Canadian Championship, Canadian Women's Championship, right? This is the zonal, and it's for qualifying to the Olympiad only.
Yes, exactly.
This is not the Canadian Championship.
Yeah, so Canadian Championship is happening in the same tournament arena, but they create this tournament so that girls also have a way to try to qualify for the, like you said, for the Olympiad team, which Alex has very good chances. I think I'm going to pull up actually. I don't know if I was waiting for them to post the ratings of all the other women, but I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quickly. Canadian Women's Huddle.
It's interesting because on chess results it says that her opponent's 1444, but I guess that's Canadian Chess Federation rating.
Hammer said she's her Canadian rating 1400 is very underrated. Hammer said that she's at least over 1900 strength, which is common when I don't know if she's from. I don't know too much about her opponent, but is common if you're playing a different rating system here. If Nemo didn't go, Alex is the highest rated. I don't think Alex is highest rated actually, but the tournament, Alex had a secret list of the players, and I can't find it online, so we'll get that next time.
I think it's the chess results page. Is that for public? Like that's not a hidden page, right? Like I can because I'm seeing.
Oh, did you find them?
Yeah, I think the top seed is Jade, and I apologize for butchering the last name, Wille Miley.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And then Svetlana, and then Botez is number 3.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know where you found it. So, interesting. Well, first place is the next Olympiad team. Also, you qualify for the World Cup and, of course, get a prize. But I think because the first 2 girls are already playing on the Olympiad team, I think even if Alex finishes 3rd, I think she'd qualify.
Right, because they qualify by rating.
Yeah. So I think that's what she does. But yeah, Alex is only number 3 in this tournament. It's pretty strong. Okay.
And she's made a move.
We got a move.
I think it's A4.
Also, chat, for tomorrow, I'll make a command with... I see people asking about time control and everything. I'll make a command with all the pairings and where you can follow and the info about the tournament. Or actually, Vila, if you could do that as well, that'd be great. All right, A4. How do you feel about this move?
Approve. I do as well. Now, A4 is actually a typical move in these Catalan positions. Now, it might seem like it weakens the B4 square, and it does, but White gets this pressure going on the queen side. That pawn could move to A5 and kind of damage Black's queen side. And the other move that this move potentially prepares is bishop out to A3, which would trade off the dark-squared bishops, and that would leave Black with a pretty lame light-squared bishop that's kind of hemmed in by her own pawns. So it's flexible. I like it.
I have a question for you, Donna.
Whoever prepared it, Alex did a good job. Did a good job in the opening. I wonder who that might be.
Yeah, hello, coaches. Hey, cutie, good to see you. If Alex flossed right now, it'd be GG. Yeah, I don't think the chess tournament scene is as memey as other gaming tournaments. I did have a question, Donnie, about the position. So earlier you were mentioning like queen c2, bishop b2, go for e4. Is this a plan we're still planning to go for later, or now are we kind of transferring the attack to the queen side like you showed with bishop a3?
That's a good question. I don't think a4 cancels out the potential for e4, but I think Alex's most immediate idea is potentially to go a4, a5, and even if that sacrifices a pawn, it really damages Black's queenside structure. So I'm expecting her opponent to probably go either bishop b7 or a5. But if Black goes a5, one thing Alexander could do is actually take on d5. This is not happening. I'm just making the moves. And then to put this knight on an outpost on b5. And Black doesn't have the same route because this knight on d7 can't reach b4 easily. And then bishop f4, rook c1, and these are very pleasant positions for White. So it really depends on what her opponent does in this position.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that position. I think I've studied some similar positions. But, I mean, overall, White just seems better developed. I guess eval is not much of a difference, but I'm assuming this is still theory, but I'm really enjoying White's position here.
Yeah, I can check how many games have been reached here in over-the-board chess, but I can guarantee you that there are probably more than a handful of games in this position. This is still pretty standard Catalan stuff.
Exactly. I see some... Also, I didn't really give Danya a proper intro because I was all stressed out at the beginning, but now that we're kind of relaxing a bit, I do see some people and also asking, and Danya and Alex go all the way back to Stanford, and that's true. Maybe you could give us a little bit of background on you, Danya.
Sure. So I... now I also stream, but I started playing chess at about 6.5. Just sort of loved it immediately. So I've been playing chess.
Oh,
This will reveal how old I am, for over 20 years now. And, I continued playing chess as I started elementary school. I started playing in tournaments. And, I quickly realized that was kind of the only thing that I was good at. And, I was getting better. I started playing internationally at about 10 or 11. I became a national master at age 12. And then I sort of climbed through the ranks and I became a GM in the summer between 11th and 12th grade. So I became a GM at 18, which, by the way, is not supposed to sound impressive because now, Andrea, if you're not a GM by 13, you're kind of a scrub.
yeah, you're right.
So
What type
I
of
became a
scrub?
GM, and then I'm happy to be that kind of scrub,
Oh,
though.
also
And
just
then,
to, I want you to continue, but just to make sure, if we don't catch the move as they make it, that we're still able. I mean, I can also ask chat and look at the VOD. I know
Bishop
I'm
B4,
like
Bishop B2, by
distracting
the way.
you. Okay, awesome.
No, no, no,
'Cause
no
I was
problem.
struggling.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay,
You're
great.
you're good.
Please finish.
I'm almost done. You're good. So I took a gap year before starting Stanford, just to sort of quote unquote get the chess out of my system. Like that was what I was thinking then. So I played a ton of tournaments, had a great time, and then once I went to Stanford, the plan, like any normal person, was I'm gonna major in computer science or whatever, psychology, and I'm gonna get a job as a software engineer in the Bay Area. And I'm going to play chess a little bit on the side. And I did some teaching in college, but around my junior year, I started getting this insatiable hunger to return to chess. And it wasn't just playing tournaments. I love teaching, and I found myself putting off like studying for exams because I wanted to give more lessons. And I was playing ridiculous amounts of blitz, unholy amounts of blitz on chess.com. I'm talking like till 3, 4 a.m. regularly. So very healthy lifestyle, Andrea, as you know.
I mean, it's
And
perfect for a streamer.
Oh yeah, no, and that's how I slid into sort of the DGen life. So I started streaming on Twitch, I think summer between junior and senior year. At first, it kind of went slowly. I was making all the rookie mistakes. I used to rage a lot, but I liked doing it overall. I continued, and then once I graduated from Stanford, again, I was supposed to do my master's degree in history, because in all my infinite wisdom, that's what I decided to major in. But I had a change of heart, and I decided to pursue what I actually knew I should be doing. So I moved from the Bay Area to Charlotte, and I started playing, streaming, and coaching full time. This was 2 years ago, and I have not looked back since. I love what I'm doing. I'm incredibly fortunate to be doing what I love, and I get opportunities like these, which just makes me incredibly happy. And of course, I do a lot of commentary now as well.
Yeah, and also your recent challenge. I know you've been doing some streams where you're trying to reach a certain rating goal, right?
Yeah, those are my like degen grind streams. I usually stream late at night. That's just kind of my slot. That's when I play my best chess. And I'm as much as I like to say that I don't care about rating, if I'm below 3,000, I'm not sleeping at night. I'm playing come hell or high water. So
Yeah, very
yeah.
motivating stuff here. Okay, we missed a couple moves in the game. So we got bishop b4, bishop b2, and then a5, which Donnie we were just looking at a5 earlier, right? Or
Yeah, so we
that
thought
different?
her opponent might play it immediately, but she's played it after this inclusion of bishop b4, bishop b2.
So what is the difference now that a5 came after bishop b4?
So her opponent is trying to establish the bishop on that weak square we mentioned. That is the drawback of Alexander playing a4. But this bishop is not that scary. This bishop on b4 isn't that scary. It could be chased away with knight a2. But then the knight is going to be awkward, and black's just going to drop the bishop back to d6, so I don't love knight a2. I would make a flexible move such as queen c2. I feel like just putting the queen here, connecting the rooks, and then playing it slowly. Rook d1, rook c1, and eventually trying to find a way to deal with this bishop. Maybe bishop a3, maybe knight a2 at a more convenient point, something like that.
Gotcha. So I have a question here. So Alex had to choose whether she could have also defended the knight here with the queen, but to choose whether to develop the bishop on this diagonal here or on b2, do you think she made the right choice?
An interesting question.
Okay, you see my moves, yeah.
Yeah. I think queen c2 might have been an interesting alternative to, as you said, to get the bishop to f4, but I don't mind bishop d2 because if Alexander ever opens the long diagonal, then this is going to be fully justified. If she ever plays e4, that bishop It may look kind of dull now, but it could be a beast later.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm also learning a little bit of opening prep here. Yes.
And I'm
oh. Go on.
No, sorry, go ahead. I'm just looking to see if this ever occurred. This has happened once, but Alexander's move bishop b2 is a new move.
Okay.
So at this point, we're in uncharted territory.
So move 10 is, I'm assuming the main line was what, queen c2?
Yeah, there's just one game in the database here from 2018.
Okay. Not too many.
Actually, Joanna Report, Richard Report's wife.
Okay.
Played this with white.
So then we know that our opponent is also not really in theory, so now it's just, they're no more playing out of the prep here.
Yeah, both players definitely out of book at this point. We're in a new position, but it's still, it has all the features of a relatively typical Catalan move. You know what's another interesting idea here is to move the knight back to d2.
Yep, right, going for the e4 push?
Going straight for the e4 push. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this position seems lovely. Like, I think I looked at this slightly, and I tried to play the Catalan, but I never got these positions. But, I mean, the plan is very obvious here. You can just push in the center, and the bishops are also all strong, pointing towards the center, whereas this light squared bishop's a little bit harder to develop. Maybe on, like, a6. I'm not sure if this is an idea, but... Or if they go to b7 and try to go for c5, but I think white should try to open up the center. Okay, got you.
Yeah, but, white could try to strike before black fully completes, the development. Or even after bishop a6, you could still play e4 because this pawn is defended by 2 pieces and attacked by 2 pieces, so it's safe on c4.
Yeah, as black, I would be struggling about where to develop my pieces a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, this is, like, super positionally complex. And I think that's part of the appeal of the Catalan. You get these incredibly rich positions with lots of ideas for both sides.
Oh, I think we got a pawn exchange.
She has...
Wait, sorry, that's not what happened.
Yep, I think we have CD and then ED. Ooh.
I will check one more time, see if the board has updated, but... okay. We're so lucky we had this live cam. Oh.
And we have...
Sorry. I just make noises when I'm looking for things, Tanya.
No, you're good. Maybe we can get confirmation from some of the GMs. Oh, Bick is in the chat. What's up, Bick?
Let's see. Oh, okay. The DGT board is working if you want. I will send you an updated link, actually.
Oh, it's working for me.
Okay, you got it? Awesome. Yay.
I think I got it. Let me find Alexander's game. Yep, I can see it. But wait a minute.
They're moving very fast.
But what says Alexander, I think it's a completely different game that loaded in. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, this... Okay, never mind. Wait, or... No, I was thinking maybe we were really off, but there's no way. Okay, so the name tags aren't accurate.
Checking... Oh, I know which game has her... I think... Abraham's against the Vonderon is actually Alexander's game.
Okay, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, we found her.
Yeah, so Rook C1 by Alexander has just been played. That's definitely the one. That happened to me before.
All right, yeah, then we can't necessarily lurk on her her future opponents, but that's all right.
So the reason I knew to check for that, Andrea, I have a funny story on that. This happened to me once where in round 1 of a tournament, my parents were watching, and I was playing somebody like a lot worse than me, as often happens in the first round.
Yeah.
And they thought I just got completely crushed, and apparently the game that said Naroditsky with white, and white just played terribly. So my phone got flooded after the game. Like, what happened?
The Russian parents were not happy.
Like, they were like, "What did you do? Like, what is wrong? Like, do you need to go to the hospital?" Like, and then I was like, "What are you talking about? I won." And it took me a while to realize that that's actually what happened.
Do you think that the pressure? I mean, I'm assuming you grew up probably with a similar parent that I did. My dad would always come to me with tournaments and watch my games, and honestly, sometimes it helped me perform better, but do you think it had any type of effect on your performance, knowing your parents were watching and reporting back with the score? Was it like a big thing in your childhood growing up?
I think it's a little bit of both, Andrea. I think on the one hand, it motivated me because obviously I don't want to disappoint them, and usually my coach would watch my games too, at least when the game started to be transmitted online. But it also led to these situations, and that wasn't the only story. One time, I was playing the World Youth Chess Championship. This was 2007. So I was with my mom and my chess coach. And I played a nice game in like round 7, round 8. I won. And then I came out, and it's a similar thing. My coach is like, he's really upset. He's like, I'm sorry, it happens. You need to recover and move on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I won. It's like, what do you mean you won? You were down a rook. And it turns out that when he looked at the position in the middle game to report to my mom how I was doing, he did not see the rook in the corner because I was blocking it with my body. And I was in the middle of the row. So he thought that I was just down a full rook and I had blundered a rook somehow. But in fact, I was just completely winning.
See, these
So
are
that
like all
situation
really
occurs.
wholesome stories. My memories from tournaments is like losing and then coming out, tears in my eyes, and my dad pats me on the back. He's like, "It's okay, Cookie, you tried your best." And then we go to like some sad sushi, and that's about it.
Oh, I have plenty of those stories, trust me. Plenty of tears.
And hi, Dad, I see you in the chat. And yeah, so a lot of people here are very confused because everyone's like, this game is so slow. What is this? Well, chat, this is classical chess. Not very common on Twitch, but this is what it's like in the real world, which I think is cool to show you guys what it's like. And also, I was very curious. So, Danya, have you played any real life tournaments recently?
I haven't played much in the last 2 years. The last tournament I played was actually the U.S. Championship,
Okay.
which was also a pretty serious tournament.
So, how long ago was that?
This was pretty recently. I think this was, well, not that recently. I think it's October.
So, what was your
Which-
biggest... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What was your biggest challenge going from, you've been playing, obviously, Alex, you guys both grew up playing competitive chess, got into Twitch over the last couple years, you take like a big break, also because of the pandemic, there's no tournaments. What do you think is the biggest challenge playing your first tournament after you've been streaming for so long?
But before I answer that question, I just wanted to say the first time I saw Alex was in 2000. I think this was 2003 or 2004. There was a tournament in Vegas, and Papa Botez remembers this. I'm sure. There was a tournament in Vegas that was a finals tournament based on an online qualification tournament. And Alexander and I both did well. So I saw her there, and I remember this one round. I had won my game, and I was sitting in the waiting room with my mom. And Alexandra came out, and she faked. I don't remember if she was with your mom or your dad, but she had a really sad face, and she won, so she couldn't keep a straight face. Like 2 seconds later, she broke into a smile.
Oh, she was trying
She
to
wanted
troll
to-
them?
It's a troll that she had lost. The funny thing is, I've done that too.
I
You gotta have a little fun when your parents are
Yeah.
right on.
I remember, yeah, Dad remembers World Chess Network game.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Dad remembers every single chess kid, hundreds of them, when, where, everything. He loves those.
That's really impressive. I think your parents should have a little chat with my parents to share stories. But to answer your question, Andrea,
Yeah.
it is hard to juggle what I'm doing because I do so much teaching and streaming, and I still like to play. I still have ambitions. But when you don't play, I would compare it to something like basketball. Like let's say you don't play for 6 months, you don't really go to the gym regularly, and then you have to play a team that has LeBron James. You might still have the skills, you might still be able to shoot threes, but you're going to be out of shape. And I think it's really similar in chess, where I don't lose my ability to play, but I might lose some of my opening knowledge, and I might be a little bit rusty tactically. And when you're playing somebody like Caruana or Wesley So, the top players in the world, you can't make a single inaccuracy because they'll punish you. So I did well, all things considered, in the U.S. Championship. I was really worried that I would just get blown off the
Yeah, how
court.
did you end up doing?
Well, I beat Fabi, which was the highlight of my tournament.
Okay. Chat was mentioning that. That's very impressive.
But let me not also forget to mention that I lost more games than I won. I think I lost 3 games and I won 2.
Gotcha.
I want to say. And then the rest were draws, so respectable.
But yeah, one very important game there, maybe meeting, the world champion challenger, beating them at some point.
Yeah, that was like on my bucket list. Bishop A6.
Yep, they made their recent move. Okay, we were just talking about Bishop A6. Yeah, makes sense. It's the quickest move. I mean, Bishop B7 just seems like a slow plan. Eventually we'll move the rook here. Danya, you were saying knight A2. Do you think now in this position you'd go for it since maybe this pawn is weak?
I think so. And I think, if you give black too much time, she'll go rook E8 and start putting pressure on the E2 pawn.
Yep.
The good thing about knight A2 is that it first of all, you're threatening the pawn on c6, but you're also threatening to take the bishop.
Yep.
Well, which is not winning a piece, but black has to defend the pawn. So let's say black goes rook c8. Then Alexander takes the bishop. And, this is something that white normally wants to do, eliminate the bishop. This pawn gets weak. Maybe you can attack it with queen d2. You can also throw a knight on e5. So I'm not sure what the evaluation here is, but I feel like white's really, really comfortable after something like this, practically speaking.
Yeah, so then this makes me curious. So did black kind of make a slight inaccuracy with bishop a6? Was bishop b7 the better move?
I think so.
Okay.
I think bishop a6 was a little bit sloppy. Yeah, bishop b7
Sorry, I really did
I think was best. And no, you're good. And I think knight a2 gives white an advantage. And I think she'll play it.
Yeah,
that's why Alexander played rook c1.
She's going. Hey, she found it. Okay, knight a2. There we go, walking straight into what Danya showed us. Yeah, I mean, once you get this dark squared bishop, Hammer should be very proud. We're going to have the bishop pair, ruin the pawn structure a little bit. I think Alex will get a slight advantage in the opening here. This
is a big moment. And Alexander, rook c1 was a very tricky move. I think her opponent just thought, she's just improving her pieces. But no, there was a very specific idea.
Yeah, no, that prep came in handy. I love how proud the coach is. And also, chat, let me share with you. So Alex is in Kingston in Canada. I saw a few questions about the location. And she sent me the news this morning. I don't know if, Adania, have you traveled a lot around Canada?
I've been to Montreal and British Columbia, but that's about it. Not as much as I want to.
The bigger cities, but whenever you play in these tournaments, they're always typically hosted in kind of more suburban areas. It's like, hard to find food. There's no Uber there. Alex was going to pack all her meals in like powder, which didn't come. And she gets there and she sends me the news and it's like, updated, Kingston police ask public to be on lookout for murder suspect. Man accused of exposing himself outside grocery store. Man accused of trafficking over 2 kilograms of crystal meth in Kingston found guilty. Kingston region sees highest case rates in COVID in Ontario. So, Alex comes here after 15 hours of travel, shows up to the match. So, just keep in mind, she's also, she just got here. She just slept 3 hours, woke up to get to this match. So, yeah, now you know a little bit about where Alex is at.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Can't even get a pizza. Who knows? But that's why I was worried. I had a lot of confidence for her in the first game because typically your first game is your easiest since you get paired against a much lower rated, but honestly with how much rest she had and travel and the fact that a lot of these lower rated opponents are super well prepared, I was still very nervous about for her first round. So I'm really happy to see that she's getting an edge in the beginning. I think it's a good boost of confidence.
And I just want to show one more line here. I think there's some hope that her opponent does this.
Yes.
Her opponent might want to counterattack the c2 pawn and play rook e8. And here, Alexander should take the bishop. But if you look carefully, you might say, well, that's a bad move because black can now take on e2 with her bishop, forking the queen and the rook, right? Mm-hmm. But here, and it looks like white has to move the queen, but no, she doesn't. She can play knight takes c6, counterattacking black's queen, and that's a really, really important move. And here, white is much better.
Here, do you want to play it out? So let's say they take the queen. We take the queen.
Knight takes d8. Bishop takes knight is forced.
Oh.
Because otherwise, white takes the bishop.
So there you go. Okay, I see your moves.
Takes, and tons of trades, really messy position. But the upshot is that white's got 2 bishops and black has 2 knights. Usually good for the bishops. The light squared bishop, as you're showing, it's controlling a lot of squares. It's pressuring the d pawn. And Alexander will have control over the c file, so you can get that rook right into black's grill with rook c7. This is a super unpleasant position for black. So I'm not saying that will happen, but it might.
Let's see what they did. Okay, no, she defended. Yeah, which I'm really glad you brought up this line, because her opponent was taking her time a little bit here, and it could have been very likely that she was looking at this forcing move, which we see that if we trade all the way down, trading here just helps white, because obviously when you have the bishop pair, a more open position is better, and her rooks are just better placed, so her opponent did not end up playing rook e8. I think they played rook c8.
Yes,
and we
rook
have
c8.
A quick trade from Alex, taking the bishop right away.
Oh, yeah. I'm grabbing that bishop.
She didn't even think
about it. You're not getting another chance. Oh, absolutely. and she shouldn't. This is the move. Takes, and Alex is thinking here, right?
Oh, there. Oh wait. Okay, I think I need to refresh. There we go. All right.
I
Okay.
think we're going to see either queen d2. The move I would prefer is knight e5. I think knight e5 is the most direct.
95. All right. I'm gonna think here. Right. I mean, you're putting pressure on c6 right away, and if they do trade the knight, then you just have this killer pawn on e5 where you're even helping your bishop. Maybe. I mean, of course, you're having doubled pawns. Are you worried at all if you want here? Do you want to play 95?
Sure, yeah. Takes, and knight d7, let's say. Well, the thing is, remember I mentioned this bishop long time ago. Looks like, well, now the bishop is very close to coming alive after a potential e6.
Yep.
But I'm not worried about either of these pawns because both of them are very well defended. This one's defended by the queen, and if necessary, white can play f4 to defend the other pawn. So after something like queen d2, and I would have to think here to find like the most accurate move, maybe even bishop out to h3 is an interesting move to pin the knight.
Ooh.
And white's just got a lot of potential in this position. e6, queen could get centralized with queen d4. This is not what Alexander's opponent was looking for. I can assure you of that.
Okay, yeah, this is great. I was gonna ask like if we should be worried if black is maybe able to push here and fix this pawn and maybe cut off the bishop, but honestly I don't think black has any time to make this a weakness, so this looks really good.
I agree. And there's alternatives in this position. Rook e1 is also interesting to prepare the push of that e-pawn.
Yep.
And maybe open up the queen. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So first big moment is here.
Yep.
There's alternatives to knight e5, but I really like that move.
Yeah, I'm curious what other plans. I mean, knight e5 is kind of the most natural move, knight in the center. Could possibly maybe I don't know if this plan still works, but knight d2 trying to go for e4. Are there any other plans for white in this position?
Well, you could start with something flexible. You could play a move like rook f1 just to remove the headache of this pawn being pinned, right? So you could play rook e1. Queen d2 is also possible, but you would have to be a little bit careful because a future knight e4 might centralize the knight and hit the queen. So maybe it's not worth playing that just yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, all the moves here for white seem like natural, slowly developing moves. Knight in the center, rook to the semi-open file.
Yeah, this options here, and Alexander's super solid. She likes these positions. No weaknesses, rock solid structure, and just a really enjoyable position for white.
Yeah. I'm reading, see what I missed in the chat a little bit. Hammer, her coach, is saying white is objectively better, but I feel like black's plans are more obvious. I'm curious, yeah, how should black unravel here? I'm guessing, I mean, I also, this is kind of like a quiz for me. I'm going to tell you what I think is the best move, and then you tell me if I'm right. But black's plan should probably be to try to push c5 here to trade off this doubled pawn, but at the same time, you're also opening up the bishop here, so you could also just put pressure on the e2 pawn, try to double here. But does black ever want to break through with c5?
I think you hit the nail on the head. The thing is, what white has to be careful about, let's say black plays c5. Yeah, the bishop opens, but then later black could push this pawn down to c4 and maybe to c3.
Sorry, froze you. Okay, sorry, chat. Fixed it. Sorry. Continue.
I was just super focused. I was just focusing. So if black pushes this pawn all the way to c3, let's Alexander's not going to do this. Let me just make random moves to white. What happens here is that the pawn gets to c3. It's a nasty pawn, and white's bishop gets shut out of the game. So you're absolutely right. I think this is one idea for black. And the second idea for black is just to improve their pieces. Knight e4, rook e8. So Hammer has a point, and that's why I think it's so important for Alex to not procrastinate and just go knight e5 straight away.
Right. I'm thinking, what if Alex went for knight e5 right away, which targeting this pawn? I know we looked a little bit at knight takes, but what about
She
c5
made a move, by the way.
right away? Oh, she made a move. What was her move?
Knight g5.
Ooh,
Knight g5.
okay.
Ooh.
I'll make it. I'm curious. So it looks like maybe she wanted to defend this e4 square to prevent this, but
h6 though.
Yeah, she's just gonna get kicked away. Are you sure that was her move?
Yeah,
no,
I
her
think I
knight
see
is
that
there.
knight
Yeah,
on g5.
you're right. Then, yeah, I'm a little bit confused here. Because, yeah, h6, forcing, maybe she's rerouting her knight. No, but
Yes.
to h3.
I think I know what Alexander wants.
All right.
I can almost...
The
if she-
prophet, explain
so,
what she's thinking.
well, take this with a grain of salt. I think she wants to play a plan connected with f3 and then e4. You'll have to move the rook first.
Okay.
I think she wants f3, e4. But the major drawback with that plan is that it's really, really slow.
Is this like
And
a common plan in an opening that she plays, or is she just trying something new here?
I think she's trying something. I mean, I'm sure it has been done before, but it's not like a household plan,
Gotcha.
you know?
Gotcha.
So it's interesting, but it's slow, and it might give black the chance to get that pawn down to c5, as we discussed.
Right. Yeah, now can we, I mean, yeah, white can't really stop this push from happening.
Well, but at the same time, as Hess is pointing out, Alexandra could first of all get her knight to f4, and that would make it harder for black to play c5, because this d-pawn would end up hanging, because what she's done is she's gotten the knight away from f3, which opens the contact between the bishop and the pawn. So after dc-bc,
Right,
white could
it's
consider
hanging.
bishop takes
So-
d5.
Okay, so they can't push just yet. Yeah, I do like the knight e5 plan, but it is a little bit slower like you said, but white has the same control on the center.
Right. So her opponent is thinking after knight g5. This is the position on the board. Yeah, I'm expecting h6.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see what chat was
Good.
been saying. Yeah. Oh, good to see you, Hess. Thanks for the extra commentary back here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go back to knight h3. Oh, her opponent just made a move.
I think it's not h6, it's rook e8 first.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, she didn't push h6.
I think she still might after rook e8,
She
rook
just
e1.
waited. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I set it up wrong. All right.
I think, actually, believe it or not, rook e8 might help Alex a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she waited on h6. I mean, right, putting pressure here to attack the pawn, so it seems like she's gaining a tempo, but okay, Danya said it might help Alex. I'm gonna see if maybe I could see why it's better. I mean, better for white that black went here and not kicked away the knight. So yeah, right, we
This
have
has
to
been played,
defend
by
the
the way.
pawn. Okay. And now let's say that h6 is coming. It still seems about the same thing to me. I don't see much of a difference with the rook on e8 before or after h6.
It's not too much of a difference, but the thing is, Alexander would play rook e1 anyway, right? Because if she wants to prepare f3, e4, then you have to unpin the rook. And so black is kind of forcing her to make a move that she already wants to play.
Gotcha.
Now, rook e8 itself is not a bad response to that, but, you know, this kind of forces Alexander in the direction that she wants to go anyway.
Okay, that makes sense. f3, so the plan you mentioned, f3 to push e4. Oh, I keep messing it up.
No, very good.
I guess once you're trading, I'm always worried about pushing my f-pawn, especially about creating weaknesses on the diagonal of the king. Would there be a better way to try to push the pawn without the f-pawn, or in this case is actually trading it maybe more of a strength since we're opening up the f-file and...
Exactly. And white gets that monster center. Like, if she can get f3, e4 in, and, you know, black doesn't get a chance to play c5, then the plan will be justified entirely. Because that king on g1, right, it's surrounded by a bishop, and it's not like black has the most active pieces either.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And it's also not like you're pushing all of the pawns. You'll still have part of the pawn shell, and I think a lot of players, that's a natural fear, to push pawns in front of your king, and you should be afraid of that to some extent, but it always depends on the sort of concrete position on the board.
Gotcha. All right. Chat, also I see a lot of people are asking, Vila, or if you're in here, could you make a command so everyone can see her opponent's games as well? If you can make a command for the DGT board for Alex's live game, and then a command for the pairings so people could check out her section. Oh my gosh. Wait, he's not frozen, chat. He's just thinking.
I'm just still as a statue. h6 played.
Okay. Yep, this is all forced.
And we're going to see knight h3.
Yep, she played it. Okay. So now we know white's plan, which, well, we'll see if Danya guessed her moves correctly. But what could black's plan be here? We did talk a little bit about c5, which doesn't work right now because we could take here. But this is also Oh, this is a much more complicated line since this pawn is now hanging. Maybe we could take a look at it.
Yeah, c5 might actually be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, if black plays this, that would be impressive. But takes, bishop d5. And now, well, the simplest thing that black could do is play knight takes d5. But this looks really dangerous for black. I mean, look at how black's pieces are all kind of loose and hanging. And knight f4 is possible. So maybe the computer can make this work, but from a human perspective, it looks really, really dangerous for black.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
I'm not too worried about this happening.
Yeah, opening up the file, this looks very intimidating. I was curious if maybe... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I don't think she's going... Yeah, apparently the best move is... Yeah, this is a very computer line. Sack the pawn and then play, like, knight b6.
c4.
I don't think...
Wow.
Oh, she plays it?
No.
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 Oh,
I'm saying in that position, the best move was
Okay.
c4. Another sack, never gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay. I mean, these moves itself are hard to find. I mean, I could understand maybe sacking the pawn because now how is white going to defend if you trade queens, which we can do by moving the knight. But yeah, I don't think this is a position that a 1900 rated player wants to play in a classical game.
Even a 2600 rated player wouldn't.
You wouldn't? What would you go for as black here?
I'm actually really warming up to Alex's idea. I'll be honest. I was skeptical when I first saw it, but now that I've understood what her concept is, I'm starting to really like it. What would I do with black? I mean, I would consider dropping the bishop back to b7 in order to discourage white from ever going e4 and preparing c5. That would probably be my choice.
Taking the bishop back, yeah. Those are always hard because you have to admit that you made a mistake earlier.
100%. And it just looks passive, right? It's like, what are we doing? Staring at the pawn. But there's a specific follow-up idea. So I would consider this, but it's not amazing. And white's knight could also come out to f4 in case black ever plays c5 to put more pressure on this pawn.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked the knight f4 plan. I'm still curious if she's going to go for f3. I think I would just be too intimidated to go for f3 because of the holes it looks like it creates around your king. But there's not really any other way she could try to go for e4. Because maybe...
Well, amazingly, you know what else she could try? She could try to provoke c5. Because as we discussed, c5 is a very double-edged sword. First of all, she gets this passer on a4. And after knight f4, look at all of the pressure that white's putting on the pawn. And the other bishop, you pointed this out, Andrea, becomes kind of a beast.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I didn't think about the a4 pawn. I think the a4... Typically in these positions, the pawn's on a2, but this makes all of the difference because then we could maybe double up on the a file while black has to stay and defend on c5.
Right. No, this is quite promising.
Okay.
Our opponent thinking after knight h3.
Chat, how are you guys doing? Are these Queen Yulin? What do you mean two girls siders? Oh, do you think there's sisters in the tournament? I think we have a command now, so you guys are able to check it out. And Bigfoot, yeah, we should have a link. Is empty seat next to Andrea to remind her that Alex is not there? No, it's honestly that we just didn't clean up the stream room. Oh, Alex down. This is not the position, chat. So the current, we were just looking at lines. Here's the current position. It's dead even. Can you ask Daniel what website he uses for checking how common a move is in the opening? I don't know if it might be top secret. Daniel,
no. So it's not even a website. I use something called ChessBase. And ChessBase is a program. It's actually something you buy and download. It used to come in an actual CD. I know probably most people in the chat don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But now you download it online.
Yeah, I was going to actually queue up ChessBase because I was curious, like, if we were playing really deep theory, since I don't really know her openings, we could know from Alex's point of view.
Right.
For some reason, I got confused. I thought Hess was doing the morning rounds, but yeah, Hammer is going to be commentating Alex's morning rounds. She's going to be playing tomorrow, and then same time, 4 p.m., her second round of the day.
Cool. So ChessBase is what almost all of the title players use to do opening preparation and to look at games. It comes with something called Megabase, which is the largest collection of recorded chess games ever assembled. And chat might find this interesting. The very first recorded game of chess played with modern rules. Because 1,000 years ago, chess had it existed, but it had different rules. Like the queen moved one square diagonally. First recorded game with modern rules was played in the year 1475.
And it's in ChessBase?
It's in ChessBase. That's the
Wow.
first game you'll find in Megabase. It was played by two, I think, a monk and an employee at the monastery, and it was found in the personal collection of this monk. And it was a Scandi. That's the hilarious thing. It wasn't T4E5, it was a Scandi. And Black got crushed, as they should in a Scandi.
Wow. I didn't even know that the original form of chess had different rules. Danya knows a lot of the facts here.
I'm a huge history nerd, so I don't know if this is what I clutter my brain with, useless information. Yeah, John Bartholomew had
Did he analyze the game?
Probably he's aware of it, but Black lost, Andreas, so probably he wants to hide it from people.
Oh, is he a big fan of the Scandi?
Huge. John is... Oh, I thought I saw him in the chat. Now I'm hallucinating. He's everywhere. So the original form of chess, when it originated in Persia and India, was... I think it was called Shatranj.
Okay.
And you had some pieces that were still common, like the knight was kind of the knight or a horse. The bishop had different roles in various languages. It still is referred to very differently in various languages. Like in Russian, you say elephant. In French, I think it's the fool or the jester.
In Romanian,
I don't remember which one is the name.
Nebun, which means like crazy. Like a crazy man.
Oh wow, that's nuts. That's so interesting. So in I did a project in high school on like how pieces got their names, and I have a really interesting book.
I love how passionate Danya is about chess history.
But it's somewhere on the shelf. It's called The Birth of the Chess Queen.
Wow.
Of course, now I can't. Oh, there it is. I highly recommend it.
Chat.
It's basically... Yeah, it's about the evolution of the chess queen. I'm showing it to the camera.
That sounds like a great book. You should have like your own like not audio book, but like Danya shorter summary version so I can listen to it. But have you read through it once? How many times have you read the book?
I've read most of it. I mean, I never read it in one sitting. I've just
not once.
Read various segments. But the funny thing is the queen used to be called the vizier, which was kind of like the Shah's closest advisor in Persia. And then when chess moved to Europe, what the author argues, she was a Stanford professor, she argues that the role of like Queen Isabella and some of the most influential queens in Europe was responsible for the queen becoming the most powerful piece on the board. Because again, the queen used to be it used to move only one square diagonally. And there was a complete 180 that happened, and it's just fascinating how she's able to trace that.
How was she able to trace it exactly?
Well, there's basically all these old manuscripts of people talking about chess in the 14 and 1500s, and some of them mention the queen. So she tries to pinpoint exactly when the queen acquired the powers that it now has.
Interesting. I wonder if it was, I mean, it was still very early on, so probably not any reflection of like a cultural phenomenon, but I read a few stories like that before.
Yeah, no, it's a long book, and there's lots of interesting discussions. So I recommend it for any fellow history nerds. Yeah, Alex forfeited. That's it. She got up. That means
taking a stroll.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I'm going to run to the bathroom, Danya, but if you could continue your chess history lesson, I think chat was loving it. I'll be back in like 1 minute.
Sure. Take your time. Yeah, now I get a chance to be my true toxic self. Yeah, so Alexander, she got up. She's just walking around the playing hall. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. You can get up from the board in an over-the-board game. That's totally allowed. And some people think you can't go to the bathroom, but you actually can. You can go to the bathroom, you can watch other games, and you can even get up on your own turn. But most people don't do that because time is kind of valuable. The author is Marilyn Yalom. So if you search Birth of the Chess Queen, you'll find the book online or on Amazon. And a lot of players, like there are different types of players. Some sit at the board the entire time. But then there are others like Magnus Carlsen's latest challenger, Jan Nepomniachtchi. He freaking gets up every single move. Like he'll make a move and then he'll get up and walk, and he'll sit back down, make a move, and then get up and walk again. So different players have different styles. Yeah, Daniel hijacks Botez' stream. Exactly. Have you tried Go? No. The funny thing is, I'm kind of lame in that regard. I haven't tried too many of these other chess-related games like Chinese chess or Go. I feel like chess is enough for me for now. Maybe when I'm older. Birth of the Chess Queen is what it's called.
Okay, I was thinking of a question for you. So was the king always moved one square, or did he also have a transformation like the queen did?
Yes, as far as I know, the king has always had the same movement from the very beginning.
That's cool. So they nerfed the queen, but not the king.
Right. That's right. And what else was interesting from that project? I'll have to think about it, but I also looked through some of the earliest books ever written on chess. Sorry,
say that again. Oh, I just realized I used the wrong word, but you were looking into the earliest books about chess, you said?
Yeah, and it's so interesting to look at books written like the 1600s. There's a book where they first come up with certain chess terms like fork. Like there was a guy in the 1600s who referred to a fork as a fork. Okay, yeah. But let me put all that aside. We have a crazy move.
I love this history. Okay, we'll come back to it. Oh, that can't be good.
That cannot be good for sure.
Wow, Alex also chat. I don't know if you guys can see. Peep the chess sweatshirt. We're not done with it, but we're working on samples of Botez merch, and I see Alex decided to rep, even though the logo's gonna change. But that's funny. I didn't realize she came back with that. Her famous sweatshirt. Okay, so G5. So black is trying to prevent knight f4, but at the same time just made a huge weakness, especially when we have the bishop here. Now G7 and G6 seems like it's just extra space in front of the king that I don't think was worth preventing knight f4 for.
Yeah, it's a super committal move. I don't think it's terrible by any stretch, because if Alex plays f3 and follows through with her original plan, there's a super nasty move rook e3 that kind of puts the rook in front of the pawn and makes it hard to push it. And if you try to chase the rook away, the problem metastasizes and the rook takes b3.
Yeah. What a rook.
Yeah, no, that's... I mean, if black sees that, that's pretty impressive. Alex could also try f4 to blast open the king position and also get the f2 square for the knight. So that could be something to consider.
When I see move like this, I was just immediately worried about the pawn structure. But I guess, yeah, black doesn't really have time to fix the pawn on e2 and make it a backwards pawn. Well, not backwards pawn, but I'd be a little bit worried about the space here. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying. But for example, here if there's knight e4, white can take, and this pawn is weak. This pawn is weak, which means fork. And I think the fork is queen d2, attacking this pawn, attacking that pawn. And if Alex could ever get this move e4 and then open up the bishop, her opponent will regret opening up her king like that.
Yeah, and it seems like that's likely because white could also kick out the rook eventually, maybe with the knight. Yeah, whether from g5 or f2, whatever they end up defending.
Yeah, but I did not expect that move in my wildest dreams.
Yeah, I'm curious if Alex is going to see f4. I would honestly, as white, I would be too worried to open it up, but as you showed, it is strong if you see it until the fork. But I would just play quietly, and I would try to still, of course you have to prevent this e3 idea, so maybe queen d2 first. But even here I still really like going for e4 as well.
And you know what else Alex could do is maybe play e3. First play e3, then play f3, so that black can't get that stuck with rook e3.
E3 top move.
Yeah.
I see chat is looking on their computer lines.
I like e3. That's a nice move.
I turn my lines off, so I have to quiz myself a little bit. But
same.
Can't keep up.
I think e3 is good.
Can't keep up with all the theoretical future moves. I wish the border would change colors for this. Sorry, chat. We can be more clear when we're going to into variations. Oh, wow. Hammer said, man, this girl means business. G5 is brilliant. And then Bigfoot said, G5 is sus. So I'm curious, Hammer, why do you like G5 for black? Maybe...
Dang, putting the Grandmaster on the spot.
Yeah, Chad, I have the eval bar on, but the line's off. So there's only been about 17 moves, so you don't get extra time now. But honestly, those extra... I know that the time format seems very strange to a lot of people in the audience, but those extra 30 minutes that you get after move 40, many times when I get to that point, I'm already under 1 minute on the clock. As you can see, this has been a more slow-paced game, but we're about halfway there.
Yeah, and I think Kusha and Hammer pointing out that it's not so easy for white to play.
Yeah.
Because this does restrict the knight. And so I like the fact that Alex is taking her time in this position. I think she senses that this is an important moment where you have to play accurately in order to maintain the advantage.
Sorry, I'm just analyzing here. Yeah, I mean, my main concern as black would be just like quiet moves like queen d2. I feel like, of course, f4 is coming later, but especially with the bishop pair here, I just would be afraid about opening up my king. I wouldn't even, if I missed f4, I guess the hard thing is moving the knight, but a plan like h4 anyway to open up, which I know as black from the King's Indian, when I do push g5, that's my biggest problem, and I even have a bishop here. So I would just be worried about the safety of my king.
She went queen d2, your move.
Okay. Nice. I'm curious if she's planning for f4 or if she's still planning for f3.
Yeah, I mean, right now she's eyeing the b4 pawn,
Yep.
which is not really a threat because then e2 will hang.
Yep.
So I think it's more a move just to coordinate, just to get the queen on a better square and to toss the ball back into black's court, because now her opponent has to decide whether to go c5, and there could even be a knight sack on g5 in some positions, especially if the bishop opens up.
Yep. If c5 comes first, maybe there could be a potential sack.
Yeah, I like what Keenstein says. Queen d2, good move. Puts pressure on black and says, what do you have? That's kind of what it does, right? It just sort of forces black to decide to put her cards on the table.
Yep. I mean, black could also just do the same thing, play waiting move, like maybe, queen e7 or queen c7?
Yep.
Oops.
I think queen e7 is a good move.
Yeah, and then the waiting game is kind of over. And Alex has to do something more committal, I would guess.
Yeah, then probably Alex should play e3 and then f3 and go for that plan.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting my setup. 1 second.
You're good. Yeah, so queen e7 I think is possible. We'll see. I mean, this game... Oh, yeah, queen e7 already played.
Queen e7 happened. Okay. All right, now we're going to see what Alex's actual plan is. F3 is still not good, right? Because the same queen e3 plan. So now what are white's options? e3 does seem, which was chat's move, like a nice simple move connecting the pawns. I don't think, though, you would want to push the f-pawn in that case. So I'm not sure what you would
not
continue
anymore.
with. Yeah.
I think, well, f3. I think e3, f3, and then maybe tuck the knight away on f2, and then still prepare e4. I'm a broken record, but I like this plan of preparing e4.
Yeah, it's a hard plan to play if you're not familiar with this idea, just because as white, it feels very slow and passive, moving your pawns just one square and blocking the bishop, but I'd be very impressed if Alex finds it.
I think what she needs to avoid is f3. Alex has to see, if she sees f3, queen e3 check, then in her mind she might say, okay, but how do I prevent queen e3? Oh, I need to push the e-pawn first.
Right.
I vote she finds it.
Yeah, I think knight takes g5 chat is looking at. Unfortunately, I don't...
Mature.
Yeah, there's not enough pieces. We only have our queen here. Maybe if there was like another bishop that was open or a possible rook lift, but you're not going to get anywhere. While it looks like a juicy sack, I mean, black also has the knight that they're going to be able to block and the queen, so the sack is not going to be happening.
Of course you could try and then go
Computer
e4,
recommends it? Oh my god.
Really?
Well,
really, Riley?
I just turned on my lines. It's the second move, but it's dead even.
The second move.
Which you don't want to play for the draw here.
Well, the computer line is interesting. So takes, king h8, and now apparently e4 actually yields a really big initiative. Because the point of this move is if DE, you can actually even go D5 or get this bishop to pin the knight, and then D5 is a threat. White's bishops are crisscrossing the board and giving a big attack. That would be an incredibly impressive idea.
Wow. Yeah, I did miss E4. Is black forced to take the pawn if we push? I guess. Yeah.
I mean, the computer wants knight H7, but that's not an easy move to play. Retreating instead of taking the pawn.
Yeah, this is super unnatural.
It's a crazy,
I think this is a very computer line here. Because typically when I look at sacks, I think hopefully maybe I could align my bishops towards the king and get something there. But this is quite an idea.
Vila says, if Alex plays knight takes g5, I'm gifting 50 subs. If she plays knight takes g5, I that would be nuts.
Chat, should we put something on the line? I want to, if Alex does end up qualifying for the Olympiad and placing top 3, I was thinking we surprise her. But I don't, and the best idea I had was we get her a bird, but that's honestly a really big commitment. Because then imagine we start traveling, what are we going to do with the bird? But we should put something on the line if she makes it.
Definitely.
Have you seen the clip of it's like a gamer, and every time he gets a Fortnite kill, he has like a mini rave that goes off?
No. Is this a well-known streamer?
It's going viral, but I was thinking that we set this up, and like with the press of a button, with each win that Alex has, we can have our own little mini rave. Chat, are you guys familiar with the clip? Chicken? No, not a bird to eat. She's been begging every day. She sends me bird videos on Instagram about the next pet that she wants to get. And she keeps asking me, and I tell her that she can get her own bird. But if we did surprise her with the bird, I know it would make her dreams. I just don't know if it's worth it. But we do have to put something on the line. I'll think of that.
Is there a particular kind of bird that she wants, or just...
Oh, she's always wanted like an African gray, but that I think we need a small little budgie, not an African gray. That is a little bit too much. We did a bird stream, and it was her favorite stream out of everything we've done in a year. And we just went to a pet store, and Alex had all the birds on her shoulders, and surprisingly, they really like her.
Ah, that's sweet. And I think bird is less maintenance than like a dog or a cat, I would imagine.
You'd think so, but they kind of poop poop everywhere. So I don't know.
God.
I think they're more to clean. Cats, at least, you can have automatic. Did we get an E3? Yep, she pushed E3. Nice.
Amazing. That's a big moment right there.
I mean, I think this is just the most natural move. And now I would love to see if the prophet has guessed it and she goes F3. Because for me, I would push E3 still with a whole nother plan in mind. But, I mean, honestly, F3 you would find because you're going to think, where can I put my knight now that they have G5? So she doesn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, that knight has no other squares, and I'm very curious what her opponent will do. Maybe she'll go G4, but then that yields the F4 square for the knight, so that's not an easy move to decide on.
Yeah, then we get an outpost knight. I don't think G4 would be helping in any way.
Yeah, and I mean, the computer move is C5, which we've already discussed is not an easy move to play at all, opening up the bishop.
Yeah.
I think Alex is better.
How is C5 the best move? Okay. Let's look into it, because this just looks great for white. I would love this position, opening up both of the bishops, like you said.
Right. Well, the point is that it's really not even like anything concrete. It's just getting rid of the light squared bishop and then going knight e5. And I think the engine's point is that the knight is out of the game, which is why there's a chess rule that kind of says when your opponent has a piece that's out of the game like this, by opening up the center, you raise your chances of exploiting that, essentially. But this is a super high-level idea.
Yeah, I would have never thought sacking the pawn to take the bishop pair.
Me neither.
Well, at least we can both take notes here. But yeah, that is a cool line. I mean, I think they have to sack because white's bishops are going to be unstoppable at some point, especially after we get this plan. And now that this is extremely weak, as soon as we're able to break through on e4, I think this bishop is going to be one of black's biggest problems.
Completely agree. And if not c5, then black has a very hard time finding a play. Knight e4 is tempting here. I think there's a non-zero chance that we see knight e4.
Knight e4, let me think here. So if we played, yeah, knight e4, I mean, looks like the best move to me, as white obviously I don't want to give my bishop right away, so we have to retreat. Let's say you go to like queen c2. Oh, I must have missed something.
I think queen d1 with the idea of queen h5 is kind of interesting.
Okay, that's definitely better. Oh, wow. Okay. So now is black's idea to try to come for this f file or to try to... Okay, well, I think I have the complete wrong plans. Like gain space or bring in the knight, bring in the queen. What is black's plan here?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's not you. There's no really good plan here. If you go knight f6, then Alex just continues with her idea, f3, knight e4. Once e4 happens, black finally pays the price for that move g5. And if f5, well, that creates more weaknesses, and white can still play f3 and still do the same thing, and then play e4 and try to tear apart, the center. And once again, this looks incredibly scary.
Yeah, I mean, okay, from a first take, I would be like, wow, black has gained space here, and now we're trying to prevent e4, but we didn't stop e4, because they'll just trade everything, which will if only just make these weaknesses stronger.
Bingo.
All right, yeah, I'm not sure. This is very tough to play, but
it really
is. 94 is the most natural.
Yeah, if I had to predict a move, I'd say knight e4. Okay, I think her opponent's about to make a move.
She's stretching. 94. All right, we were right. Okay, let's see if Alex is gonna see this correct move that you said. Queen c2 at first, I thought was a nice move because we're putting some attack here, but it is defended by the rook and maybe putting some pressure on this knight. And while this move looks a little bit more passive, this light square diagonal makes a lot more sense than what I was looking at. So I'm curious if she'll see it.
I think that subconsciously it's very hard to make retreating moves, just period, like for anybody.
Yeah.
Like we tend to be biased against retreating moves, but queen d1 almost isn't a retreating move because it reroutes the queen potentially to a much more aggressive square. So it's not the easiest move to play, but I think she'll find it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not really any way that black could prevent it except bringing another knight to f6. So, and in that case, hopefully her f3 plan happens. Yeah, now we are going to see if all the stars align. All of Danya's guesses are going to happen or not.
I think this game is going in a very good direction so far.
Hi, Bortnik Chess. It's good to see you. Good luck to her. Bortnik, have you played any in real life tournaments recently? This is a critical moment because queen c2 looks kind of natural. Yeah, it does for sure.
Yeah, it does, but it also puts the queen under the x-ray of the black rook, so it raises the unpleasantness of the move c5, which is also why I'm not a big fan of queen c2.
Oh yeah.
Because after c5, black gets some sort of initiative all of a sudden.
Oh.
Actually, a big initiative.
Oh, I didn't even think about this. Well, let's say takes, or would you not take? Actually, you might take with something else.
Maybe the d knight to try to get it to d3. This is actually what I find to be nasty about this.
Okay, yeah.
And there's discoveries, and if you move the queen away, I mean, knight d3, this gets in territory that Alex shouldn't allow.
Yeah, now that bishop from a6 is finally pulling
No,
in.
she sees it. She understands, like there's not too many choices, which really helps.
Yep.
In this position. It's not like you've got 6 candidate moves.
Yep, right. All she has to do is calculate queen c2 and calculate queen d1.
Yeah, bishop takes e4 is not on the table. Just giving up this golden bishop is not good at all.
Yeah, I'm bringing in the pawn, or actually, maybe black would even take with a queen, but I would just take with a pawn, and now we're fixing white's structure. Oh, well, okay, I was...
1 hour and 1 minute for Alex. Plenty of time.
Aw, Champ, thank you so much for the 20 gifted. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And I have alerts off so they're not distracting, but I will thank everyone after the game. I appreciate it a lot. I know it is a slower control. Alex said that we're even allowed... I am very new to this and a very big commentary noob, which props that we have Danya here carrying the team. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Have you done any commentary on similar time formats to this tournament?
Yeah, I've done commentary. I mean, I mostly do commentary on
slower tournaments.
On slower tournaments, of course, I'm doing RCC and some of the Blitz tournaments, but it's a challenge. I also did some of the World Championship, but in Russian
Oh,
with
wow.
Grisha.
That's...
That was fun.
Teenage, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Yeah, do you ever, I mean, we're lucky that I have someone like you who's very easy to conversate with, but do you ever struggle to make use of all the extra time? Or Alex said I'm even
100%.
allowed to challenge you to speed games if the time in between moves is too slow, which I got really excited about, but honestly, they've been playing pretty quickly.
So it is a huge challenge, and you know what the worst is? The worst is when I'm commentating a tournament, there's like 5 games going at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And 4 of them end in quick draws, but we can't stop commentating until all of the games are finished. And the last game is in some unbelievably boring endgame. And when I was commentating a tournament in the Netherlands recently, Tata Steel, the time control was nuts. It was 2 hours for 40 moves. Then it was another hour. Then it was another 30 minutes after another 20
God.
minutes. It was never ending. And when you had a boring position, I mean, to be completely honest, that is one of the hardest things about commentating, but it's also something I've come to enjoy because you need to keep the crowd entertained. And what you do is you tell stories and, I used to feel like you always have to be super energetic and you got to yell about everything. But I realized eventually that commentating isn't just about being the loudest. It's about, understanding matching your tone to the tone of the game. If the game is a little bit slower, it's okay to be a little slower. It's okay to have silences. And I'm still learning. I've got a lot of experience left to acquire. But thank you for...
no, I mean, I'm learning from you here.
I appreciate it. This is really fun.
All right. Oh, wait. No, I thought Alex made a move. Did she? Yeah, she did. She played...
She did?
Okay, she made the right move. Nice.
Queen D1? Very nice. Excelente. That was another big moment.
She took her time. Oh, she's been playing, very accurate so far. I'm pretty happy with how this game's been going.
But the thing is, commentating Bullet might actually be the hardest format to commentate.
Because it's so quick and you just can't really follow the games, or why?
Well, you can't show any lines because by the time you show a line, they're 40 moves deeper, and the chat gets annoying, as they should. It's annoying when you can't follow the games because the commentators are too busy analyzing.
Yeah, I remember we tried that once when we had our Botez Bullet Invitational, and at first I thought it was the best idea ever because, it was kind of after PogChamps. We had just done that chess tournament for Minecrafters, and the chess trends were kind of dying, and I was like, this Bullet tournament, everyone's going to love it, but it was just so stressful. I mean, some of the participants really enjoyed it, but from a commentary point of view, it's just really difficult, and, especially if you want to look at other people's games, there's no time.
Yeah, and by the time you say anything, it's
completely
by the time
different.
You say anything, position has changed, and it's hard. So in that way, I like classical because you can really delve very deeply into the position, and if you can help people improve their understanding by really explaining all of the moves and going into interesting lines, and you have time to tell stories and stuff, which I really like as well because I'm a huge story nerd and chess history nerd.
Yeah, which actually, okay, I think you're in the middle of telling us the history of the bishop, or I know you were going into from your book. There was a piece that we didn't cover.
Well, pawns have been pretty stable throughout history. They've sort of been the foot soldiers in almost every culture.
The foot soldiers. What is a foot soldier?
I don't know. I mean, just the infantryman. The people who are not on horses.
Okay.
I'm so bad at army terminology that I'm embarrassing myself. But I think you know what I mean.
I know soldiers that goes on feet, Chad. I thought maybe it was a metaphor that applied. Okay, all right, continue.
Infantry. So I have a funny story, but it'll take me 5 minutes to get into it because I have to set the groundwork. But I've shared it on my stream and people have loved it. Do you mind if I
think
use
we
the
have
bathroom
time.
and get more coffee
Go use the bathroom. Go for it, Danya.
And I need more coffee, so I will be back in a minute and a half.
Go for it. Take your time.
Cool. Sounds good. Be right back.
All right, chat. It is a metaphor though. Bullet commentary is usually Danya yelling Queen D2, Queen D6. Oh my gosh. I'm assuming we have a lot of Danya fans here in the chat who likes to watch his other commentary, right? Also, if you guys, I think we have a command guest. He is excited to tell a story. It's nice. This is a different pace for me as well. I was very nervous before the stream today, but typically Alex and I are obviously playing a lot of speed chess. There's a lot of trash talking all the time. So I'm also, not as well experienced for this commentary, so I hope I don't make it too painful for Danya, but it's also nice because it's our stream and we can still have casual conversations. So I'm curious how you guys are enjoying the more serious commentary. He's such a wholesome and cool person. Yes, hopefully, Danya, hopefully if this game does not, exhaust him, we're going to get a Danya stream after. We can all tune in. And I'm also, I felt bad using the bathroom and leaving him alone, but okay, we're going to be here for a long time, so we're allowed to drink water. Enjoying the stream. I was just so nervous before. The way we're doing this, Alex is doing a Zoom call from her phone, which also, if the phone makes any noise whatsoever, she gets disqualified, but I think we made sure that that's not going to happen. And I had 1 minute until the round was starting. Alex was on the Zoom call, and I had membership on Zoom, but apparently I had to upgrade, and I was trying to upgrade the membership in time before I would lose Alex forever, because when she starts the game, she's not allowed to go back in, and I was in the time crunch, but we made it. I was very stressed, and then we didn't have the DGT boards. I was like, oh my god, we're not going to be able to follow the chess game. This whole stream's going to be a fail. But then we had Danya, the genius, who could figure out what was played by looking from this very scuffed point of view, so somehow everything worked. You're telling me you're telling me BotezLive is the only thing preventing Alex from being disqualified. What if emergency? No, you're not allowed. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm very excited. I really hope she makes it. Am I going to play an on-the-board tourney soon? We were planning to play the Spain Chess Festival after this. Also, of course, it'll depend on how this tournament goes and how the stream is doing. But we're not going to be doing Spain, but hopefully a tournament after the next month. I should have played this one. I tried to calculate my chances, and the competition is honestly really intense. I want to see if I can find a list. I think I had a list of all the players. But my chances were not good. Alex is number 3. I think I would have been number 4, but tied with a lot of 1900s. And a lot of these people also, I think their rating is kind of underrated. And I would have had to pretty much, the only people I could have lost to was my sister and board 1 and 2. And that means I'd have to beat everyone my level, which after not playing chess. Let's see. Move was made? Wait. My board does not update. Is the DGT board not updating? I think it's
updated for me. It shows F5.
Oh, okay. All right, mine is not, but that's okay. All right.
So here, Alex should play F3, Knight F2, and E4. If she can make those 3 moves, I think she's going to be in phenomenal shape.
Yep. We slightly talked about this before it happened as well. But F5 seems... Oh, sorry, that's my end. Okay.
Oh, no, you're good. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good. Sorry. Is Ben in the chat? Hey, Joe, good to see you. I don't see Ben Feingold. Everyone is...
You played F3. Wow. Alex confidently
she played
going
quickly?
down this line. Immediately played F3.
Okay, she had calculated this. I mean, a very natural move, right? You have to get this knight out. So, okay.
Yeah, get out of here.
Is the knight gonna come to D6 here? Do you think that's better than coming to F6?
I think so, only because I think what Black should try here, could try. I mean, if Alex plays Z4, Black's king is gonna get put through the meat grinder. But Knight D6, Knight F2, Knight F6 could be a way for Black to try to prevent or at least discourage E4. But in this position, Alex is saying, hey, remember that B4 pawn? Now it's time for me to attack it.
Ooh, wow. And now the only way to defend...
If the knight moves away, that allows E4. And if C5, then I think you're about to say that, takes C5.
Oh my goodness. A lot of ideas here. I completely forgot about this pawn on B4, which is a major weakness. I'm curious, is there anything... Yeah. This is a very solid plan.
Whoa.
Did she move?
Look at the DGT board.
Okay, I'm gonna
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
My digital board
I'm
stopped up. Oh, it just. Oh wait, I'm looking at someone else's game now.
Noritsin against Atanasov is now where Alex's game is migrated to.
Okay, so they're.
It's like keeps moving to
Yeah, I'm
different
very.
labels.
Okay, I see now. Wait, never mind. This is. Who is it?
Noritsin against Atanasov.
Oh, found him. Okay. Got it. Okay, found him.
Right. So now, question for Black is where to put the knight.
Oh, I didn't know all the games are live on chess.com.
Oh. Oh, I see now.
We have a link, which means we can also kind of check out the top boards. But, yeah, I mean, board 1 is Miley, who's 2100 playing a 1500. However, though, Alex is playing a 1400, and these 1400s are more like 1900, so I'm probably underestimating them.
Chat should not put any stock. A 1400, like, it just could be the fact that she hasn't played that many FIDE rated tournaments, and her rating isn't accurately. This also happens very commonly during COVID.
Yeah, so, I think this is Canadian rating, so I think her FIDE is even higher.
Black is playing much better than 1400. Yeah, no, and I'm sure Alex is not.
Oh,
does not think
she's
of her
1400. Sorry, you were right. She's 1400 FIDE, but 1850 Canadian. Got you. I didn't know they were putting in the FIDE ratings.
1850 is closer to what her actual strength is. I can tell from this game.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. We have some updates. Am I still on the right analysis board? No.
I'm seeing F3. I'm not seeing any moves
never mind.
after F3.
I was on the wrong link.
Knight D6 played. Knight D6 has been played, and I think we're gonna have the Knight F2, Knight F6, and I think Alex is gonna go Queen D2.
Yep. Yeah.
I think we're gonna see those moves, or the immediate Queen D2 also looks good.
Yeah, true. What is the difference if Knight F2 comes first, or if we play Queen D2 right away? I mean, C5 is probably going to be forced.
Well, the thing is, C5 is not really possible here because takes, and now D5 hangs straight up.
Right. Ooh, so maybe Queen D2 first is stronger in that case, or no?
I still like Knight F2 because there is an opportunity for Black here to play the move G5, G4. It's not scary or anything, but it does carve out this E4 score. What do I mean by that? I mean, it forces White to get rid of the F3 pawn, which in turn gives the Knight the E4 score. So if I'm Alex, I'm playing Knight F2, sticking to the idea, and only if Black plays Knight F6 am I unleashing, the Queen D2 beast. And Alex has made a move. And it is Queen D2. Okay, so she's gone for Queen D2.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, like,
respectable.
Such a subtlety to realize that. See, okay, you should play it only after G4. So now, okay, if we have G4, and I was going to look, I was also going to look a little bit into this line, because I was going to ask after, here we could play it, Knight F2. I mean, what is the, oh, okay, computer really doesn't like this. But I thought this was great.
E4.
Knight E4.
I guess this move is annoying.
Okay.
And then Black defends the pawn and and shuts down the queen. The queen doesn't have access to the king side now.
I was thinking just because Black now has 2 isolated pawns, White would have enough of an advantage, but
I think it's unclear because also the bishop on B2 is now buried.
Yep.
And you have no good way of pushing the D pawn out of the way.
Got you.
So
sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
So then you're saying if after the queen moves, Black's plan isn't to take the knight here, but you would leave the knight here to leave this guy fixed.
Knight df6, yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because I was thinking you just trade right away and White's okay, but yeah, that's a really good point that you make. As soon as this knight gets here, yeah, now I don't really know where we would take this bishop. You don't have anywhere to reroute it, so now I see a lot more why G4 is a threat.
Yeah, and I wonder what the engine wants f takes G4 after G4.
Sorry. F takes.
And Knight F2. No, this is amazing for White. It transposes almost to the other line. Now this is a threat, and this is a threat, and Black's position falls apart completely here.
Yeah, now they're just forked.
Ugh.
Okay.
So, and it requires Black to find G4, which is not a given at all.
Say that one more time, Danya. Which one?
Finding g4 is not a given. Like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the most
I think
forcing
it's
move.
likelier. I think it's likelier though that her opponent moves the knight to b7 or f7.
Yep. Yeah. Simple defending. Alex is
We'll
better.
see.
Now just a few precise moves and can be winning. Hard to find. G4 is the best, but hard. Well, I don't think G4 is even the best move anymore.
No, I think it is knight b7, but I mean that allows e4, and that's super super dangerous. Black's position is not good either way. She did go g4.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, makes sense. This looks like even though it looks like not. Sorry, what I was gonna say. This looks like a more passive mood, and you'd think, okay, maybe instead take the opportunity here to be aggressive, but like we just saw, it's not better.
And now an important moment. It's important for Alex to actually take this pawn in order to get the f5 pawn away so that e4 becomes a serious possibility.
Yep, we do not want
And she's
to
already
allow...
taken.
Nice. Okay, now
Wow.
she has a great position.
Quick and confident, and
Knight f2, probably
going
she's
well.
going to play... I'm not following her game since I lost it off the board, so... I see.
her opponent has not recaptured yet, but is about to.
Okay. I'm going to pull...
And
Oh, I
she just
found
did.
her. There it is. Cool.
And Alex will not spend much time here. She'll go knight f2 fast.
Oh, this is nice. They also put the amount of time they have. We won't switch it today, but for next time we can use chess.com's games.
Mm-hmm. So what did Alex focus on preparing for this tournament? Did she do anything special, or just like
Well,
treated it as a chill event, which can also be a very good form of preparation, by the way?
yeah, she was kind of cramming because she didn't decide to play this tournament until about probably like a week ago or maybe a little bit more. So props to Hammer. He helped her. For this, I think she was just been studying openings and she also had very little time. So I think she's only done opening prep, which she didn't really get to prepare much for the lower rated opponents, just for like the top two.
I see.
Oh,
That
Chad is
is-
asking, so knight f2 instead of knight f4, which I think, could we just say simple answer because of the fork?
Oh, why knight f2 and not knight f4?
Yeah.
I think, first of all, yes, you're attacking this pawn, but most importantly, this, again, I'm a broken record, but this e3, e4 move is incredibly important. The more eyes white has on this square, the more effective e4 is going to be.
Got you. So let's say, okay, how could we? I guess black would rather defend this pawn than this pawn. Knight here. I mean, white probably is gonna snag the pawn here.
I would even play e4. I would even
Okay.
ignore this pawn, although taking is great, but I would just go e4.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, is this pawn push more important than taking this free pawn?
I believe so. In my estimation, it is, and believe it or not, after DE, and the engine approves of this.
Oh, we also have
Just queen
this.
takes. Yeah, just take this guy.
Okay, yeah, completely missed that the H pawn was hanging.
And now look at this cool line. So queen g7. Sorry, muting my phone. Queen g7, and then you take the queen.
Yep.
And then you go d5.
D5.
And then knight takes g4.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
This is.
So we
Look at
sack,
that-
so it
look
doesn't
at that
matter.
pin.
Oh, so yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, technically, this is just a pawn trade, but I'm assuming,
Black can't defend the knight.
yeah, wow. Yeah,
And
rook
it's a
defend
pin.
is just losing material. Wow.
And it's. Mhm.
Sorry, you go ahead. I was gonna say, I hope
No.
Alex sees these ideas. They're very
I know she does, just because of the speed with which she's playing these moves. She knows about e4, and let's, of course, taking on b4 in this position is plenty good. Sorry, the position is this is the position on the board currently. So if her opponent goes knight f6, then just taking b4 is also perfectly fine. Up a pawn, great position. White is spoiled for choice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong here.
Yeah. This is. This is great. I heard you. It's funny. I heard you talking. My headphones reconnected as I was coming back. You were talking about tech problems, and it just makes me realize that one of the hardest and most tilting things as a streamer, and you'll co-sign this, is like tech problems that always happen 1 minute before the start.
Yep.
And a lot of people think like, oh, why weren't you prepared? But I think when you start streaming, you realize that like these problems, they always arise unexpectedly, and the rule is that they never arise when you're checking beforehand. They always happen exactly when you're starting to stream. Something isn't loading, something isn't working, and it's always a different thing. So
yeah, I tried to be. I was like, okay,
it's never
today
as easy as it looks.
We're professional. I'm gonna be extra prepared. I started prepping even an hour before, but I mean, we're also trying something completely new with the Zoom call, and I had so much anxiety that we would lose Alex's cam, which luckily has been working. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, no, this has been great, and streaming is very finicky. It requires so much resource from the computer. Internet has to be perfect. Screen capture has to be perfect. Like tons of things could go wrong at any moment. Maybe this is not the best time to talk about it because I'm gonna jinx it. But yeah, it's interesting. It took me a long time to like get a handle on all of it.
Yeah, to this day, we're still. I mean, we had so many tech. Alex was gonna bring like a whole streaming backpack with her to the tournament, and hopefully, I mean, the DGT board is something that's really helpful for tournaments. But we've tried it even on our own streams, and like I can't even make the DGT board work set up. But I think that if we can make this type of content work, where we can have like one of us is playing, one of us is commentating, even blitz games. Sometimes, of course, we're gonna have to bring our own DGT boards. I think it would be such a cool way that we can integrate competitive chess back into content.
Yeah, because that's always the thing, and that's my qualm with these super long time controls. Not only is it not a spectator sport, it's even boring for GMs sometimes to watch these like 6-hour games. I like this time control. This is like a good middle ground, but gosh, those like 2 hours and then another hour and another hour, and you're like, I want my Chick-fil-A, and I'm tired of commentating.
Yeah, no matter what it is, I mean, for Twitch, it's just a huge change of pace. Some people in the chat were asking, you think Alex worries about the stream cam herself while trying to play, or is she able to say, if it works, and focus? That's something I was really worried about, that it would add extra stress, especially that she's kind of doing it before the round. Like Donnie was saying, like right before you go live, you're going to get all this anxiety, and the stream breaks apart. But imagine that you have to do this like right before you're supposed to be in your calmest state, prepared for a long game. So
yeah, you have to be fully zened out, you know. And
yeah,
then you're.
I was gonna say to chat, we can see the clock, not on our stream, but Alex is up a lot of time. She's at 58 minutes. Her opponent is at 44.
Yeah, time situation is great. I'm just hunting for that passage. If there's a good
you
time
never
to share
told
that
us
story,
your
but
story.
I don't have to.
I would love to hear it.
I will share it as soon as I'm just gonna find the appropriate passage to quote from the book. But you can. This will just take me like 30 more seconds.
Okay, go for it. I'm just pasting her tournament at chess.com in so I can see it better. Okay.
So her opponent is thinking right now after knight.
Yep.
Knight F2.
Which makes sense. I mean, her opponent will probably spend a lot of time here. Just to reiterate all the threats, this pawn is hanging. This is hanging. Donnie also showed some crazy ideas with e4, trying to come for this pawn. There's just a lot of threats. So I'm assuming our opponent will probably spend like 10 minutes here. So I'm guessing we have time for story time.
We have time. Okay, so Rue Lopez, there we go. I found the chapter.
Great.
Now I just got to find the passage, and then we're good.
Plug Danya's book. What's the book, Danya?
I have two books. It's Mastering Positional Chess and Mastering Complex Endgames. The positional chess one is out of print. Now, this was many, many years ago. This is like from 2010.
Okay. Thanks, Sideshow.
So I think I'm ready to tell the story.
Let's hear it.
I'm still, learning the skills of storytelling. So I apologize in advance if this is long-winded or if I'm unclear. Basically, I got a book a couple months ago. It's called The Classical Era of Modern Chess. And it's a recent book, but what he does is the author traces all of the earliest manuscripts and earliest books about chess. This is from the 1500s and 1600s Europe. And he basically talks about them. He traces all of the openings and when they were first mentioned, like who first analyzed the King's Gambit and, who first analyzed this. And it's all very interesting. So one of the chapters is on a guy named Ruy Lopez, who most people in chat, I assume, have heard of. The Ruy Lopez defense, or the Ruy Lopez opening, also known as the Spanish, is e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. It's the most popular response to e4, e5, right? Now, Ruy Lopez himself was a priest who lived in the 16th century, in the 1500s, and he wrote 2 books on chess. Two manuscripts.
He was a priest? I didn't know he was a priest.
Yeah, that was his sort of day job. But he was a big chess fan. He was good. And he wrote these 2 manuscripts on chess where he analyzes tons of openings. These are like pretty modern books. If you look at how he analyzes stuff, it's pretty serious, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, so rewind to the 1400s. There was a guy named Damiano. He's only known by his last name, Damiano. Damiano was a pharmacist who was also a chess fan, who also wrote a manuscript on chess, right? And Damiano was from the same area as Ruy Lopez. They were both from Spain. Or Damiano was Italian, but he lived in Spain. And in Damiano's manuscript from the 1490s, he analyzes an opening. Can I really quickly show that opening on this board?
Yes, go for it. I love this.
One thing that Damiano does, he gives e4, e5, knight f3. Now he refutes a bunch of bad moves here. He refutes a bunch of bad moves, like queen out. And remember, in the 1490s, there was no opening theory. So these guys are the first people who are analyzing this stuff. And one of the openings that he refutes,
the birth
Andrea,
of
I
theory.
assume you've seen, the move f6. You're familiar with this move, right?
Oh, yes.
So white, it has a refutation here that's kind of famous, and that's the knight sacrifice on e5. Knight takes e5.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then white plays check, and then check and wins the rook. This has been known literally for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And Damiano is the first person who gives this variation and says that f6 is a bad move. Fast forward 70 years to Ruy Lopez's manuscript. For whatever reason, and the author goes into the theories behind this, Ruy Lopez hates and is jealous of Damiano.
Oh, no.
His main theory is that he's jealous of the fact that Damiano was the first to analyze all of these openings, and he wanted to be the first to develop some of these openings.
Okay.
So here's what Ruy Lopez, throughout the book, Ruy Lopez basically trolls Damiano, and I want to use the S word here. He does this to him, like he just trashes him basically. And there's hilarious passages of where he basically claims that Damiano says things that he didn't say. So I'm going to give 2 really, really funny examples, and the second is going to be the main sort of punchline of the story.
And yes, chat, Alex is winning the game, but Danya's story is just very entertaining. So we'll see. We'll have a lovely story, and then we'll go see the win.
So first he disagrees with some of Damiano's analysis, and he calls it nonsense. Now I'm quoting from the manuscript itself. Then in another case, Damiano gives a typo. So Damiano gives a line that features a typo, right? And instead of just acknowledging that, Ruy Lopez takes this opportunity and says, one moment. Then there's another passage where Damiano finally says something Lopez agrees with, and he says, quote, and in this he finally tells the truth, implying that everything else is just crap.
What type of priest is this?
He says e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4 is Damiano's inaccuracy. Of course, Ruy Lopez thought that bishop b5 is the best move. That's why it's called the Ruy Lopez.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find this other passage where Damiano gives an illegal move. And rather than just saying it, Ruy Lopez basically says, and I'll find the quote later, and here Damiano gives this illegal move, but it's not possible because the knight is not allowed to jump over the queen. So even though it's a clear typo. But finally, in talking about the f6 line, which Damiano refuted, what Ruy Lopez does is he says, this is Damiano's gambit. So he calls the move f6 Damiano's opening, even though Damiano refuted it. And guess what it's called now? F6 is called the Damiano defense.
Oh, really?
So now,
oh.
Yeah, so he calls this error el gambito de Damian, and then he says error de Damian, so Damiano's error. So now it's known as Damiano's defense, even though he was the first to refute it. And that's because Ruy Lopez, it was a lot more influential in the grand scheme of things. He's a much more well-known name. So because he did this little switcheroo, we now think that Damiano was this dummy who advocated a terrible move. One of the worst moves in this position, actually, is F6.
This is great.
So he got trolled.
I mean, people always meme about chess nerds and chess lingo and openings name, but when you actually know, I didn't know that they're actually, like, this history is very entertaining. It kind of reminds me of how, like, historians or scientists, when they're, like, writing research papers and they're, like, arguing with each other and being so nitpicky, like, this is fantastic. I actually enjoyed the chess history lesson.
No, and this is, what's funny is this is like 450 years ago, yet you have these, like, you have this trolling, which we can kind of laugh at now. So I'll find the passage where he basically trolls him for giving the illegal move is really, really funny. So I'm going to hunt it down. But that's basically some of the reason that I love chess history is you can, like, you know, in history in general, you can just imagine these people, this monk writing 450 years ago and getting mad at this other guy. And I don't know, it just kind of humanizes everything.
Oh. I was gonna.
So, anyways.
No, it does.
Sorry, I've talked enough.
No, I love this. I was just gonna put the current position on the board. Oh, here it is. But I had a few comments I wanted to make. But okay, here's. Oh my goodness. Okay, Alex is completely crushing it. So I want to take just one more moment.
Yes. No. There are moves, and I found the passage. But let's look at the moves first. Most important thing, because lots of stuff is happening.
Yeah, I mean, Alex is already winning. We can just story tell now. But okay, we'll go back to the game and then we'll continue.
So her opponent played h5.
Okay.
Defending and now Alex correctly didn't take the pawn. She played e4.
Yep, which, like Danya showed us earlier. And now, I mean, chat was freaking out when this happened because the eval bar shot up. But let's talk about why this is actually winning, because it doesn't look like, you know, there's that much checks, but what are White's threats here?
Well, first of all, in the game, queen f7, e takes d5 happened, and the reason this is winning is because after CD, Alex is going to give this check on g5,
wow,
forking the pawn and the king, and once she takes that bishop on d5, the other bishop is going to basically checkmate the white king. She's going to move that bishop away, push the pawn. This is a crushing attack, and she's a pawn up, so you know, I would sacrifice a rook for this attack.
The game is literally over then. This is what happened?
I mean, it's what this is. Well, her opponent is thinking after e takes d5. She's completely winning. Obviously, you know, anything can happen, but I think she's got this under control.
Yep.
But the thing is, Andrea, if Black had taken, let's say, on e4,
yeah,
why is this position winning? It's because Black's king is wide open, and White's pieces are all aimed at the king. So Black won't survive this for more than a few moves.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we talked about these bishops the entire day. As soon as one of these pawns is missing, it's just going to be an explosion, and that's what happened with e4. And now we get to see the full power. This is great. I'm glad that this happened. This e4 push was just anticipated for so long. Oh, let me see where her...
Yeah, no, she played it at exactly the right moment, and I'm really happy that she didn't take the pawn on b4. She's playing for the, you know... She wants the whole 9 yards here rather than just one pawn.
Yes. I believe...
Which is great play.
We are right here. Okay, so her opponent did not take back yet. Peppo cheer!
Yep.
It's nice, too. She can get some rest before the next game.
This has been a fantastic game. I mean, this has been... Especially given that she's tired after the travel, this has been an excellent game. She just has to make a couple more accurate moves and finish it.
Okay, she took.
Yeah. Alex will play queen g5 check within a couple of seconds.
I see. Okay, I have the computer here, but rook takes c8 first. What is the difference if we trade rooks?
She's played queen g5, by the way.
Okay. We'll follow.
I guess rook takes c8 was more accurate to get the c file.
Oh, because he couldn't take back.
This is still a little bit. King h7 here would give Black the most chances.
Yep, and because anywhere here is on this diagonal. What's the problem with... Oh, we get forked and lose the knight.
Yes, that's exactly right. So her opponent...
Yeah, has to prevent this check.
She's played king h7.
Yep.
So it's winning, but I would caution against saying that it's like...
Over.
totally over. Alex has to demonstrate some accuracy here. You can see the eval bar is not like saying it's like quite as crushing as it looks.
Yeah.
If black defends accurately.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in a classical game, she can probably. There's a lot of ways black can fight here. So, I'm assuming white wants to just take the pawn here. I'm thinking like why this isn't crushing, because it just seems like as soon as maybe the bit. Oh, you don't want to come to e4 because of the knight. But we force some trades and then push d5. Like, it seems to me like it's over for black.
So black has to find a really hard move here, because if black goes queen g6 and there's this great move rook e1 to e7 check. Okay, what does this do? Well, if the king moves, you lose the queen. So you have to take. White takes.
Yep.
And look at, I mean, white's just taking all of the pieces.
Nice. And if the queen blocks, this knight is hanging and we win that.
Bingo.
Yes, okay.
Bingo. That's honestly what I calculated. What I didn't see is that black can play this move rook takes rook. How does that help? Well, the thing is, if white takes the queen, that's really inadvisable. White gets checkmated.
Oh my.
So Alex, if this happens, will take back.
Yep.
But now after queen g6, there's no check on e7. So black is down a pawn, bad position, but can keep fighting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, once you get the rook off of the e-file, it makes a lot more sense. Because there are a couple weaknesses here. I mean, yeah, our white king itself, although this king is a weakness, is still open, and now they have their queen to defend. Of course, I think the bishop pair in the long term is just going to kill it, especially if we could push this pawn. But yeah, it isn't as simple as I thought.
No, same. It, surprisingly, the computer indicates the black can hold on for dear life here.
I mean, and the hard part is because it looks like a simple winning plan, like you would just bring your rook to the 7th rank, but we have to defend this e1 square, so... And you probably don't want to trade queens either, since we're attacking here. Or maybe you have to allow it. You don't have a choice. Oh. She stood up. She surrenders.
I resigned.
I think their legs are just getting tired. Nicola, thank you so much for the 5,000 bits. We really appreciate it.
Dang.
What's the time
What's up,
situation? It is 44 minutes. Oh, wait, never mind. This is the wrong game.
It's 53 to 39.
Oh, what? The chess.com is now giving me different opponents. Okay, I will follow.
Oh yeah, maybe not. I would, because I don't know which one is right, which one is wrong. But I think it's plenty of time.
Yeah, I would like to see how much time our opponent has, but I cannot quite. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. Yep, and they're on move 27, so they get an extra 30 minutes and 13 moves. Nemo is not playing this tournament, chat. If Nemo was, I don't think Alex was gonna play it. Since that'd be hard to. You'd have to beat 3 people there.
So I promise this is the last I'll say of this, and then we can go back to the game. I found the actual passage where he trolls.
I love it. Let's hear it.
Let me make. So basically, Ruy Lopez is analyzing the following line. Let me make these moves really quickly just to get to the point. This is the Petrov defense. It's amazing that this is still a modern line. Like, this is still played even today.
This looks crazy.
So both Damiano and Lopez are analyzing this line. Knight d5, queen d6, and here, queen c6, bishop b5, queen c5, bishop e3. And Damiano gives the move queen a5 check in his manuscript, which is obviously illegal, and that's obviously some sort of a typo. And Lopez says, in spite of Damiano's assertion, queen a5 check is impossible because the queen jumps over the bishop. Sino salta por cima del alfil, because it jumps over the bishop.
Damn,
which is obviously, he knows that, like, jerk. Like, he knows that it's illegal. It's just, yeah.
Every chess book that I've read has about a typo. Even modern chess books today. Those are my favorite things. I remember when I'd be like a little kid and I would study puzzles with my dad, and I'd find like a line that they got it wrong. I was kind of turning into Ruy Lopez, and I'd get really excited, be like, haha, the authors of this book don't know chess.
Totally. Yeah. I actually I love finding mistakes in books and things until I wrote my own book, and then I realized, oh my goodness.
You wrote your own book?
Well, that's the Mastering Complex Endgames.
Oh, that's awesome! Oh my goodness.
It was many years ago, and
how was that process? How long did it take you?
Gosh, so and wait, let me see. Bishop d5 played, so this is a big moment. Chat.
We talked about it. I didn't know it was his book. He has two.
Yeah.
I must have missed this.
So it's basically started when around 2005 or 2006. I always loved writing stuff, right? I loved handwriting stuff.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would analyze these chess games that my coach gave me, and I would handwrite, like, analyze them in a little notebook. I didn't think this would become a book. I'm just writing for myself, right? But this grows and it grows, and eventually, like, I fill up an entire notebook with these like analyzed games and these notes to myself, and I'm like, damn, like this is 250 page
This is great.
notebook. Like I should at least try to type it up. And I was like, no publisher is ever going to accept it because I'm like 14. Although I was already a FIDE master, so I was like, they knew who I was. They knew I was a serious player, but I was like, there's no way this is going to get published. But I decided, what the heck, give it the old college try. So I typed it up, and as I typed it up, I obviously made a ton of edits. I computer checked a lot of stuff. But eventually I typed it up. It took me like another year. And my dad helped me send the manuscript, send a chapter to like the 5 or 6 chess publishers. And like 4 of them didn't respond or denied it outright. Then another publisher called New in Chess, they're in Holland, they responded. And they're like, we're really interested. But who actually wrote the book? Who's the actual author? And we had to basically prove to them that I was the one who wrote the book, that I did it on my own. And to their credit, to their great credit, that they believed me. They asked for the entire manuscript, and they took it on for publishing. And the first book came out, I think, in 2010.
Wow.
So it was a dream come true. When I look at it now, Andrea, I get embarrassed. The writing is not what I want it to be. Obviously, in 2010, like, we didn't have Stockfish. The chess engines were so much weaker. So obviously, just like with any book from 2010, there are a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I'm going to read your
analysis.
book, and then I'm going to write my own book, like Rui Lopez, and I'm going to make fun of you for all your typos and take credit, and then call it my book and say yours was just a variation, and we'll play off the history.
I approve. I give you my permission. So I want to write another book now, but with streaming and all of the YouTube stuff that I do, I just haven't had time to sit down, and I haven't even decided what I want my next book to be on, because people don't really read books as much anymore. So if I write something now, I want it to be worth it. I want it to be something really, really cool, and I'm too much of a perfectionist. Okay, so her opponent did take the rook.
Okay, so Alex, my board is not updating. Oh wait, actually, never mind. Did she take and play Queen G6? Okay.
Yes, this is on the board.
Yeah, now we're in the hard position we were saying, where it is obviously better for white, but it is unclear how to continue.
Yeah, the engine likes h4. That's not an easy move to play.
Oof.
So the issue is that if Alex trades queens, this is just very unlucky, Andrea, but rook c6 gets checkmated to rook e1 and bishop f1.
Okay, yeah, Alex, I have faith that she is not going to be falling for any mate in threes in classical chess.
Yeah, no, she's not. She obviously sees that.
Oh, this is actually very annoying, because this bishop is holding the king. The rook has here, so even if we do go into the endgame, the king is kind of stuck. You have to first move this knight, which you don't have that much time for, because then you give rook e2, so yeah, wow, if you don't push h4, it's just almost returns to being equal.
I guess queen g5 was a mistake, but it's so hard to like forecast that.
Yeah, that's why you had to take first.
That was winning.
Which I'm curious. So, okay, let's say she had played the right line, play here. Now would we trade first? Yeah, okay.
Yes, take
you have
the
to
other
give
rook.
Both of the rooks, then we go into this. King h7
and the
now.
Reason,
yeah.
Now you can play queen takes or bishop takes d5, and there isn't the mating. There is a check on e1, but it's not dangerous anymore because black doesn't have the second piece.
Yeah, I mean, once you have the rooks off the board, this position is just so much more comfortable to play because your king is safe and you don't have to worry about trading queens and going into a complicated rook endgame.
So Alex took the queen, by the way.
She took? Oh,
no, but she's not gonna play rook. She's not gonna play rook c6, obviously.
Chat is just everyone spams in all caps, so it's just giving me a false sense of alarm.
I think she's gonna play h3 if I'm correctly understanding the thrust of like what she's gonna either bishop c6 or h3 would be my guess.
Yeah, bishop c6. They would just play like rook e7, right?
Oh, rook e2 apparently.
Oh.
That rook e2 is a really strong move,
Oh,
counterattacking
wow.
the bishop.
Attacking this guy. Oof. Yeah, that is very
Not
strong.
easy to see.
Yeah, okay, as white, even, okay, let's say we see h3. This rook e2 is very scary, and we can't really prevent it.
Yeah.
The time is the time. Chat, everything's okay. I mean, it was hard to see this h4 move. It's not a natural move at all.
Extremely unnatural. And that's actually an impossible move.
Yeah, I don't even understand what the idea here. I guess, what is the main difference? Now we take with the knight? Oh.
So now we take with a knight, and the knight has a pathway. So there's two things that white gains from h4. The first is that the move h4 creates a square for the king. So rook e1 is never going to be quite as dangerous as it is now.
Yes, true. This is the only opportunity she could have played it as well.
Yeah, and that actually comes in. Like if black, for example, takes the queen and plays king g6, now this is possible because there's that square. The second reason is what you pointed out, Andrea, which is that this knight comes alive and it moves over to f4, and black cannot, sink this rook into e2 because there's a fork.
Yeah, see, I think, and also because she played kind of quickly, which she does have extra time. I think what happened in this position is she dismissed h4 probably really quickly, which I often do with moves that on the surface look bad, but as soon as you start calculating about 5 moves ahead, you see the difference. So I'm assuming she had just looked at it, assumed it's not good because of the pawn structure. I don't even know if she would have considered it much.
I think, but Alex definitely rushed it a little bit here, and now she just has to kind of reorient herself mentally. And I think h3 is a very good practical move, and white is still in the driver's seat here.
Yep. Yeah, chat, I know you guys can't see the clock. It is online. She has 47 minutes. Her opponent has 39.
Yeah, her opponent is looking around. I don't know what exactly is catching her attention.
So here, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what Alex's thought process might be. So h3, same plan, really. Same idea as earlier. But I'm thinking, if I was white, I would be like, can I try to prevent this? Which,
yeah, but I don't think you can.
Yeah, there's nothing. So I honestly don't think she has a choice but to...
Yeah, I like h3 a lot. I think h3 is the best shot at a big advantage, and black has to be super accurate.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of forced to find this move, because if you think about it, you can't do anything with your pieces. You can't move this rook because, like Danya said, the mate threat. This knight doesn't have any squares. You can't come to e4. You can't come to e3. You're not going to retreat your bishop. This guy is going to be a target soon. So you have to find some sort of way to break free. Your pieces are tied up right now.
Exactly right. And you know what else could happen? This is a long shot, but h3, let's say knight f6, bishop g2. And then if her opponent goes rook e2, Alex could drop the bishop back. And now there's this very hidden threat, bishop g2 to f1, which would skewer the rook to the bishop. So black is by no means out of the woods. This is still, I'm still very hopeful here that Alex pulls through. She's got
Why is chat is shouting? Everyone in chat is freaking out. Oh no.
Yeah. Not a good move according to the engine.
Okay, but let's think as a human here, not like an engine.
Well, as a human, I think her opponent might play rook e2. And Alex's idea is actually very clever, and that is to play rook c6. So she has avoided the check on e1.
Yep.
I'm very hopeful that this is indeed what is going to happen, and then Alex is back in control of the game.
All right, let's see how she's in trouble here.
Knight f6 is the nasty little move.
Knight f6.
And she's played it.
Oh no!
Not good.
Oh no! Well,
now rook c6 is still fine, I think.
Okay, I must be what? I'm assuming if rook c6, rook e2.
Rook e1 actually. So if bishop c6, here's the problem. Black goes rook e2. It attacks the bishop, right? You have to move it. But then one of the knights jumps into e4, and Alex's knight is going to be pinned, and all of a sudden, I think everybody can sense that this is trouble.
Yep. Yeah, these knights are too strong. We can't... Okay, so the pin. Right. And rook f1 here. Bang, bang. Why?
Rook f1, yeah, where is the win exactly? I don't see it. Rook a2, moving the rook away.
-8?
Well, because the rook is hanging, and if you move the rook, you lose the knight.
Wow.
Here's what I'll say to calm the chat a little bit. I think if Alex plays rook c6, there's a pretty good chance that her opponent doesn't see the incredibly strong move rook e1, which threatens checkmate with bishop f1, bishop h3. I think it's not an easy move to see.
Yeah, they're both going to have to take their time here.
But Alex has to find rook c6. I think that's the best practical chance.
Wow. Rook e1. I mean, I'm not going to underestimate what her opponent could find just because they do each have 40 minutes here. But obviously, fingers crossed here. She did see this knight f6 move, though. But if you're looking at...
And she found it instantly, which
Yeah.
is pretty nuts. I mean, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Which, I guess, like, between rook and here, these are both natural moves, and... Yeah, I am impressed that she found that really quick. So we are here in this position. And if...
Rage.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she has the plan in mind. I'm curious. The main difference, so if she would have played rook e2 right away, what white would have had to do? Just bishop a1?
Rook c6.
Or no, rook c6.
And then, because in the case of knight f6, rook c6, black's move is rook e1. So here black commits the position of the rook too early.
I see. You were saying in the case of this, and what was your next move?
Well, here it's already unclear but if we compare this to the game continuation, knight f6, sorry, king g2, knight f6. Let me promote this so we don't. Now, if you play rook c2, black's move is not rook e2; it's rook e1.
Yes. Which I was curious why he couldn't play rook e1 in that position. If it's still giving a forced mate. I guess, no, you win the knight and then...
It's not a forced mate at all. I mean, even here it's not a forced mate. White can go h4. And there's still plenty of chess left to be played here.
Yeah.
Plenty of chess left to be played.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this just gets messy in a lot of different ways. No,
Hammer says bishop b7 much more likely than rook e1. And the problem is this also yields an advantage. But here Alex could hold, I think, with king f1. Here, they're still holding chances.
Trying to see. I mean, okay, and the evaluation here, I'm a little bit confused because this is completely, I guess the pawns are just falling, actually.
Pawns are falling, white is a really
Yeah.
bad, and the king is just constantly in trouble to this bishop c4 rook e1 idea is really, really annoying.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of threats for white here. Okay. But I think that's her best shot. She can only try rook c6.
It's just unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, this rook e1 idea is just there, and the fact that Alex didn't take on c8
Oh, no.
has had really, really serious repercussions on the game.
I mean, her opponent seems a little bit relaxed. There's chances that she does see the win. I'm only her coach when she wins. Come on, Hammer. No. Oh, I mean, I still think even if Alex, let's say, I mean, okay, you know what? We don't want to jinx anything.
How many rounds? 9 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, she could.
Plenty.
Yeah. The only thing is, it's like a huge. Mentally, it's going to be really hard because she's losing to someone who's extremely underrated FIDE-wise, but of course, you know, the first game of the tournament will just offset your mentality for the whole tournament, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do is losing, and I've had so many tournaments where I lose the first round to a player who's lower rated than me on paper. I remember losing to a 1500 when I was 2300 in the first round of the California high school championship.
Oh.
And I ended up winning the rest of the games. So
there
9
you
rounds
go.
is a lot. And first of all, she hasn't lost yet. In all my commentating experience, I've seen much more lost positions be turned around. And I'm not just saying that. So I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful.
I just know mentally it'll be very hard. But I'm really glad that you were able to win over your games. That's impressive.
She just has to not lose her mind here.
Yep.
And find the best
Copium, there's still
practical
hope.
defense.
Yeah. I mean, we'll
Come
see.
on, rook c6.
I think she just got a little bit too comfortable in her position after that queen check because it looked so good. And like we said, like even for myself, I was underestimating how many chances black still has when it looks like, you know what, we're up a pawn, we're going to go into winning endgame, but it was just there was literally only one way to get out of this and make room for your king.
Well,
So
queen
just
f4 also was good. I think, practically speaking. After queen
Oh, queen
g6,
just retreat.
declining the queen trade, I think, yeah, the engine doesn't give a big advantage,
Oh.
but practically, I think this is almost impossible to play for black just because of how weak everything is.
Yeah, I wonder why she took the queen so quickly. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe missing that this rook e1 is a big threat and that it's harder for white to actually use this, which looks like a huge advantage.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think Alex underestimated the threats against her king and the threats against her minor pieces, which are all sort of very unfortunately placed here.
Sag, Alex serious and her opponent is all relaxed. I sympathize with her. But,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
can see the
we're not going to assume anything. I mean, she really, that's her best shot, but who knows? She could still save it. She's walking on her. I mean, yeah. Chat was saying, like, I can see as a chess player how it can get infuriating if you're in a losing position, your opponent gets relaxed. But, I mean, you both know it at that point. So, yeah.
right.
Doesn't really matter.
No, I think her opponent is more nervous than anything, which could be a good thing if if Alex puts up a strong resistance here. What you need to do is you need to get doubt in your opponent's mind. Like, she needs to make a couple of good moves and show that she's not just going to fold over here and let her opponent win. And that's when you start getting nervous, and that's when the mistakes and the impatience starts to creep in.
Exactly. I'm curious, it might be... Oh, I was going to say if you were able to use the Canadian Zonal's chess.com link as our analysis board so we could see the time, but it might be too difficult. I don't know if you can see time. Actually, we can't see time in analysis board, so there's no way we can do that. I have to do that on my end.
No. I don't think time pressure is a big issue here, because you said there's an addition after move 40, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to put for chat.
Yeah, somebody in chat, people in chat are asking about this move, which is an interesting idea, but there's takes, and rook e2. It's the same problem. You got to move the bishop, and then this happens, and then this happens. I mean, too many problems here for white.
Yeah, it's just this king g2 move that looks so natural. It's really unfortunate that it was just pinning our knight and completely missed this knight coming in.
It's good that Alex is taking her time. She senses the importance of this moment.
Chad is saying this is when she whispers trash talk. Now she just starts... yeah, that's how you get disqualified, unfortunately, but that would be entertaining.
So, Sepper, I would play rook c6 here. That's my vote, rook c6, because the chances of black finding rook e1 are not... I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, rook e1, you would have to consider that they'll push h4, and you have to see all the way through bishop b7 to figure out that black is winning, because otherwise it's, like you said, the king's not necessarily trapped. So there is a chance that she just goes rook e2.
Absolutely.
Alex's inner monologue. I am a woman of self-control. No, she's probably just upset. I hate these. Yeah, I've been in these moments like, you have a great... I mean, of course, any game, when you go from being up to being down, it's hard to adjust, but she'll keep fighting.
Yeah, there's just anger that always bubbles up.
Yep.
You know, he's like, how did I allow this?
Yeah.
And
my inner monologue at this point is just like, I hate myself. How did I throw? Chess sucks.
Right.
But, you know, hopefully she's probably not too emotional. I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, and it's too early to despair. So at least this next move is going to be very big. I'm praying, Rage, that
rook c6. Yep.
her opponent is not totally accurate after rook c6.
Yep, Gerber said it is first round. Oh no. And it does take a lot of time to adjust, especially after the travels, so.
Oh, it's one of the hardest things, actually. I mean, I remember, you know, in this case, there's no jet lag, but there's just the arduousness of the actual journey, you know, from one corner to the other. And chess tournaments are always in, like, little villages. They're never in... Tournament in Spain is never in Barcelona. It's always in some little village. A 6-hour train ride away that has 2 restaurants.
Yep.
So
I remember last time I played a tournament like this. It was in Sault Ste. Marie. I don't know if you're familiar.
I've heard of it. It's in Quebec, right?
Yep. It's like there's really nothing to do there. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and there wasn't really any food around either. So like I made my trip to the grocery store, and I got food poisoning immediately,
Oh,
and then there was like a storm, and on the way home, so like my flight got canceled, and I was stuck there. So I had like some nice chess players, and it was also the most depressing tournament ever. Oh, not okay. Okay, they're fixing us. It was not Quebec, it's Ontario. So I don't know. I just yeah.
Ontario. Okay.
There you go, Chad. You caught us. Now you can laugh at us like Ray did.
Well, it sounds. I mean, I just assumed because it sounds French.
Um, and so yeah,
I'm
that tournament.
ignorant American here. Sorry, go on.
I'm the Canadian. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes like I just confirm things without actually thinking them over, especially when it's like Danya, the genius. So that's my excuse for not knowing.
No, I mean, it's not a huge city, so I think we will be forgiven by the chat. But go on.
Hey,
so you got
Una.
food poisoning. Your flight was canceled.
Yep, and I was
Anything
also
like bad happened to you at that tournament?
everything bad happened. I was like top seed by like a couple hundred points. It was like a national tournament that I was guaranteed to win, and I ended up like losing a couple games. But then and I was stranded. I wanted to get home. I was also taking summer math class and like studying calculus in between the rounds. But at the end of the trip, some nice chess players took me in and road tripped me to like, I can't even remember where they lived, but we went on a long road trip, found a flight, but it was a very depressing tournament, and that was my last experience in a small Canadian town.
Sounds like a delightful, unforgettable experience.
Yep.
I yeah, I have so many like crazy stories from tournaments. So much stuff has happened. Like there was this one time I was in Latvia, and my computer stopped charging. One round into the tournament, and you guys, I think, know by now that you need chess space. If you can't not prepare for the games, right? It's like really, really bad. That basically loses you the game essentially. You've got to look at the openings.
Yep.
I need my computer.
If you're over 1,500.
And if you're here, just go to Best Buy or whatever, or Amazon Prime, the charger. But this is Latvia. So I'm like, okay. I looked up computer repair shops. I went to one. And, people speak Russian there, so at least I could explain what's going on. They're like, no problem, we'll fix it. 2 days later, and I had to play 2 games without preparation, they're like, we can't fix it. The charger has some sort of a problem. I'm really sorry. I took it to another computer repair shop, and I'm going back and forth in the taxi to these random computer repair stores in Latvia. The other one couldn't fix it either. I went to a third one. I went to some tech warehouse, and they said, we have one of these Dell chargers that's in another city, so you'll have to pay extra, but I'll drive there and pick it up. So they did. And by the time I finally got this charger, which had a European voltage plug, so I couldn't even use it back home, I had to use a transformer. It was the last round.
Are you serious? How did you?
Yeah.
Did it affect
I
your
just didn't
performance?
prepare. I mean, I used the computer in the business center at the hotel, where everybody could see me. But I didn't play that badly. But it was.
And there
was
were like
ridiculous
no
experience.
friendly chess players who'd let you borrow their chess base.
My one of my friends, he's an IM. He offered me his computer, but I didn't want to cut into his prep time.
Yeah.
And I felt I declined, but he did offer.
Yeah, that's the thing in these locations. Like, if you're missing something, you're screwed.
Oh,
There's
you're
no
totally
Uber.
screwed.
There's no Amazon Prime. It's not gonna come.
Can I share another embarrassing
Yes.
story that I've never shared before?
Go for it.
So this is really embarrassing, but since Alex is thinking, still after knight f6.
Yep.
This actually is the U.S. Championship, the one I told you about like 5 months ago.
Okay, the one where you beat Fabi?
The one where I beat Fabi. So generally, because I'm so experienced in traveling, I'm good at packing. I'm pretty neat. I know what I'm taking. It's like it takes me an hour to pack for these tournaments.
Wow, must be nice.
I'm also very absent-minded, like most chess players. So I come to the tournament a day and a half early. So the opening ceremony comes on. I'm getting dressed for the opening ceremony and the drawing of lots. And this is the U.S. Championship. You dress suit and tie, right?
Yes.
This isn't just anything. Kasparov was there. This was a huge banquet.
Wow.
So I opened my suitcase because I had only partially unpacked, and I'm like, "Where are my pants?" Like I traveled in shorts, like in sports shorts. I'm like, no. I couldn't have forgotten the bag with my dress pants. I mean, how how dumb can you be? You know, they're in the suitcase. I like tore the suitcase apart. I looked in the shelf, and then it occurred to me that yes, I had actually forgotten my pants, my dress pants. And it's an hour before the opening ceremony. I literally have nothing but basketball shorts.
Oh no.
Now, as luck would have it, at first I panicked and I started raging. But right next to the hotel where everything is held in St. Louis, there's a Lululemon, and there's like a men's dress store.
You got so lucky.
The dress store said that they needed to tailor the pants, so that they needed at least 2 days. But Lululemon actually had like dress pants. Believe it. I didn't even know that. And they're the best dress pants that I've ever gotten. So it was expensive as hell, but
a nice pair of pants.
And this all happened within 30 minutes. So, anyways, just a funny story that
I
comes to
was
my mind.
looking forward to the photos of you in your little basketball shorts near all the nice dressed up chess players. Our roommate is here in the chat, and she's very concerned. I think someone messaged her that Alex is losing, and Miko is asking, Alex has +1. If she doesn't make a move, she would win pause champ. No, my friend, she is minus 2.6. So, unfortunately, no. Oh, I see Hans in the chat. Good to see you.
They tied those people at the ceremony. They help with everything. They tie ties. They told me about this store because I was like so panicked. I mean, like, I don't know what to do. I am like the dumbest person ever, but this happened, so they helped me out.
Yeah, that's why. Honestly, yeah, I didn't ever really have any tournaments like that where I dress really nice. Where now, probably if I'd go back into the competitive scene, maybe I would be a little bit more proper, since, like, you know, you're filming and everything. But never had that pressure. I would just show up in sweats, and it was. I guess this was a ceremony, but now I dress differently.
But Gary Kasparov was there, you know, and
you got to impress him. That's true.
Very disappointed. Noritski, you know, is the only one who came and did not dress well. You know, does he not know who I am? You know, it's my, you know, Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and you know, these terrible chessmen. You know, he doesn't even wear, you know, nice pants. You know, this is ridiculous.
Did you talk to Kasparov in the tournament?
I just shook hands with him. He was always surrounded by, like, when the Dovers, he was surrounded by like
he's a popular man.
25 people around him at all times.
Damn.
So he's very hard to get to, but...
He wasn't playing in the tournament. Was he just doing a guest appearance, or what?
He was just there for the opening story, because he was getting inducted, or I think Rex Singfield was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
The Chess Hall of Fame. So Kasparov was there kind of as a guest of honor.
Wow.
He actually comes to St. Louis pretty frequently.
Wow. I really like his TED Talk about AI. I listened to it like 3 times. About his matches against Deep Blue, and then just how we should work together with AI in the future. I don't know if anyone listened here, but he's
I know exactly
a very enjoyable guest speaker.
About.
He's been also on Lex Friedman's podcast. I really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I haven't watched it entirely. It's on my list.
That was good. I would ask him a couple questions if I met him. He seems like a pretty friendly guy, but...
So, Miko's asking if Alex can win.
Miko is so funny with her questions. Like, it's like concerned mother. See, it reminds me of like when my mom would come in when I was like losing a chess tournament, and like she'd try to make me feel better, but like she doesn't really know what she's talking about. But like I appreciate that she's trying. It was very sweet. But well, Donnie and I talked about it a little bit. So just to recap, because we've been sitting here for a while. So this is a critical moment here. What happened? Alex had a good position. She was up a pawn, but it got really tricky, and we got a queen trade here. So now there was a bunch of threats here, and it was really hard for white to unravel, because if we move this rook, there's this big back rank threat. This bishop is controlling the square, so the king doesn't have many squares to run. The rook is also threatening to come here. And then Alex, which seemed like a natural move, played king here, but and I honestly didn't even realize how much of a blunder this was either. The only move that she could have tried is to push here and make space for a king. So now in this position, this knight, the latest move, which is attacking the bishop, is tying her up, because if the bishop moves, let's say, wait, also now that now that I'm thinking about, what if we played like bishop here? It doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, which we looked at here. So anywhere that the bishop moves on this diagonal, let's place it in. The threat is this is coming with a tempo attacking, and then the knight is going to attack this pin knight. Code Miko, I expect that you're following me move by move and completely understand everything that's happening. So we defend here, even if you trade. This knight is just losing, and but you have to see one more move ahead that after rook defends, there's rook here, and now this is under attack, and now this is just hanging. So this is the threat.
And the bishop is lost.
Yes,
the whole
Yuna?
position collapses here.
So just to recap for everyone who tuned in, that is the current threat. So we are hoping that she's going to see the counterattack here, which would attack this knight, and if this happens, it's not too bad. However, there's an even better move, rook here, and it just gets super messy. A lot of lines. There's bishop check. We're also threatening this bishop here, which might attack the rook, and they can't defend the bishop. So Alex is thinking. She doesn't know how to defend against this. It is really messy. There's your recap.
That was great. I mean, that you hit on all the points. And what I'd say, the only thing I'd add is just that I think if Alex finds this move, rook up to c6,
Yep.
she gives herself the most chances either to tie the game, to draw the game, which would be a good result considering the position that she has right now. Or if her opponent makes a couple of mistakes in a row, which is always possible, definitely the game could turn around. This is not over.
Yeah, I mean, she does have to see that. I mean, okay, I'm thinking how... wait a second. Yeah, this is honestly still a really hard counterattack to see. And now that I'm thinking it over, so here, and then we push this, right? And now the idea is bishop e7. But, oh, never mind.
Yep.
I was thinking, like,
No,
why
I think
can't
that's
we
right.
take? But...
Take stakes and rook f1, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, like, she has to calculate a lot of... I mean, this... It's like, there's a good chance that she might see this, but rook f1.
Well, the issue is that she won't even have to see this from a distance. Like,
yeah,
she'll be able to get closer to the position, and that'll make it easier. But after rook e1, there's this really interesting resource, knight takes pawn.
Oh, wow.
Which creates space for the king on f2, and then you take the knight on the next move, and then you can take this pawn. I mean, if this happens, this is Alex's best chance by far.
Yep.
That's why I'm so insistent on rook c6. A lot of people are asking why not bishop c4, which, just to reiterate here, knight takes c4 and rook e2, it's the same problem. Oh, yeah, knight c4. Sorry, my mouse is going crazy. It's not letting me...
I can... Thanks, Cano Smash. I have everyone texting me. My mom has texted me. Alex's friend has texted me. Is she losing? Is Alex winning? What's happening?
Yeah, it's
okay, guys. It's
very
just game 1. There's 8 more. We'll be okay. Everyone, stay calm. I would love.
Connect a different mouse.
Imagine if like Twitch chat was able to come support in person. Like everyone. Like, Alex blunders, everyone in the crowds, they're just like, Prague, copium. And then I would love if chat could come cheer IRL, but it would be the exact opposite of what you see in chess. You guys, we would all get in trouble immediately, but it would just be great. Even to go meme her. Like, imagine, like, okay, no, I guess that would throw her off, but there'd be a lot of ways to meme around. And have, like, little streamers.
Yeah, sometimes, playing alone without tons of people can be a little more relaxing when you've got a whole crowd in front of you. Okay, I can finally make moves. So when you've got a whole crowd around you, it's gosh, it's so nerve-wracking, especially when you're in time pressure.
Yeah, no, and
so
yeah, the serious competitive chess scene. I mean, like we have these type of meetups in our obviously in our chess IRL streams, but this is just so different. And while it's great for content, unfortunately, it'd be very hard to focus.
Over the board chess is just generally very, very stressful.
Yep.
I think Alex is going to move within a minute or so. If I'm reading the body language right, I think she's ready to move. Let's see what she does. Big moment right here.
Let's hope rook c6.
Yeah, we're praying for rook c6. That's
I'm
definitely
going
the best
to
chance.
run to the bathroom. I will be right back.
Go ahead. We're praying. Rage.
I'm stuck.
Okay, Alex withdrawing her hand, so she's still thinking. Yeah, big moment. She looks up at her opponent. The death stare. Let's see what she does. Yeah, this is honestly just kind of unlucky that there's this, and thanks Prongs for the sub, but it's just unlucky that this rookie 2 move is so dangerous for white because it pins the knight. So let's see. I think Alex is down to about 15 minutes, and she's got how many moves? 9 moves to make until 30 more minutes are added to her clock. So she's gonna get on with it pretty soon. Code Miko, yeah, we're gonna keep that secret. We said between us. But it's totally true. We're all praying. Rook c6. Come on, Alexandra. Best chance. And the reason, like, again, to reiterate, this is so dangerous because the bishop is hanging, and black also wants to sink this rook onto e2 and basically attack all of white's minor pieces. I know she sees rook c6. There's no question in my mind she sees this move. The question is, will she evaluate it correctly? Like, will she understand that this is the best chance, practically speaking? Okay, still think we're about to see a move.
Let's see. She's not resigning. There's lots of fight here.
No,
chat.
no, no, no. God forbid. Not even close.
Rook c6 forces her to find bishop b7, which isn't too easy.
She did it!
There we go.
No.
She's going on a walk.
Let me warn everybody in chat. This doesn't mean she's winning. She's still in big trouble. What I'm saying is that this is the practical best option. This forces her opponent to find an accurate move.
I love how excited chat gets when you walk soft. They're like, yes, the walk off. Like, no, chat, like, we're not doing well. It is not a walk of victory.
No. Still trouble, still big trouble, but she's putting herself in a position. She's maximizing her chances. Now, her opponent, if she plays rook e1, I would be shocked. I mean, that's a really hard move to find, even for, like, a master.
Yeah, I mean, so if she, let's say bishop b7, the very obvious threat. So let's say they play it right now. First we have to trade, and now it looks like we're just losing this bishop. Which, oh, I guess you are, but what's interesting to me is, like, the eval is not even close.
But you've taken the other, or the knight.
Oh, we looked at this. Never mind, sorry. I thought we were down a whole piece, but the issue is that the pawns are falling apart.
I think this is what's going to happen. If I had to guess, I think her opponent's going to go for this. Yeah. And now in this position, Alex has to be very precise and now find the move d5 to open up an attack on the knight. And this is, I think if she finds all of this, then white's got great chances to defend this successfully.
Yeah, I mean, endgames are her strength. This is not over in any way.
She just, yeah.
Trying to think, like, what is... let's say, yeah, if black even goes for the pawn, I mean, oh, never mind, sorry.
Now the knight hangs.
I was not paying attention there.
Black has to give this check, and again, do not move to g1 because there's that mating mechanism we talked about. And here, Alex would have to, acquiesce to a draw. Black can make a draw here by repeating moves, but Alex wouldn't mind a draw here. It would be a great result given the position she's got.
Yeah, which... even a draw will be a little bit defeating, but I think Alex can definitely hold this position. Okay, it's not over at all. I had lost faith a little bit, I'll admit. But this, let's see, what is her opponent thinking? I think Alex is very good at finagling her way out of these positions, at least against me, and I'm a player who's about the same skill level as her opponent, so I'm confident that even down a little bit, Alex can at least secure a draw, but we'll see.
And yeah, even GMs, the strongest players, mess up. One of the hardest things in chess is winning a one position. So even if the computer says white's losing, that doesn't mean that the game is over. It never does. So we're praying. I'm praying that her opponent doesn't find rook e1, to be honest with you.
So the huge difference that rook e1 makes because rook e1 after pawn push, we still do this. I'm trying to think. What is, just from my own understanding, honestly.
Like, what happens after rook e1 h3? It's actually,
Oh,
yeah, bishop
h3.
b7 still.
Yeah, it's the same. I'm just trying to understand, like, if we, and yeah, so if we play bishop b7 right away, or if we do this line right away.
Well, here the king can't move back to f1.
Yeah. So the main idea is just black gets a bigger advantage.
I think she played it.
Oh, she played rook e1.
Wow, she found rook e1. I mean,
yeah.
you just got to tip your hat. I mean, she's just playing unbelievably well. And
Yep.
now Alex has to find knight takes pawn. I feel like knight takes pawn is the only way to stay in the game.
Yep, like you mentioned earlier.
Jeez.
Wow. Well, the main difference is the fact that the king has nowhere to move now, and the rook might come to the back rank attacking these pawns, right?
There's a mate threat.
And yeah, I was saying after like h3, bishop b7, but maybe we should address this mate threat first. So let's play this here. So,
what Alex should not do, I really hope Alex does not go h3, because that loses the game instantly.
Oh, shit.
The only way for the game to continue is for her to take that g4 pawn. Not an easy move to find, but I hope that all of the time she spent thinking, you know, will help her find this move.
Oh, goodness. This is completely lost. I'm trying to...
Do not go
yeah,
h3,
because
because
get
now,
mated.
yeah, it's
wow.
the rook f1 after king h2.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Come on, find the move. Knight takes pawn.
Yeah, I think there's really nothing else she could do in this position.
She just can't lose hope.
And now she'll have to defend against this rook e2 threat.
Well, the thing is, white loses a piece, but takes... This actually is not clear. So here, white takes the pawn, and remember, white's got 3 pawns for the piece, and another one's on the way. This is a game.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
I've seen crazier things happen in my lifetime.
I mean, isn't this... Oh, wait, sorry. Never mind. I'm missing, like, very clear pawn. Okay. Yeah, this is a very tricky position. I'm assuming that black is going to get the base of this pawn chain soon, though.
Yeah, this is still lost objectively, but bishop e6, I mean, this is... And d5, this is a game. And the bishop is hanging right now, so...
Yep. I have to move the bishop.
Her opponent is honestly absurdly underrated.
Oh, yeah. Chat, yeah, she's not losing to a 1400.
No.
Her Canadian rating is 1900, but we know she's higher rated than that, so... Alright, let's see if Alex sees knight takes g4. Hikaru wins these with white easily against Danya and I, then so can Alex.
Truer words have never been uttered. That's Hikaru just... You feel like you're losing against him even if you're mating him.
Yeah, I feel that. The one game that I actually had a chance was our blindfold game. And, like, I had a better position, and I was playing against a blind man. He was about to flag, but I had just no confidence. I was so scared, and then someone took over for him, too, so he didn't flag. But that is very true.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that, you know, tough opponent in round 1.
Hans is the next great American GM, according to Hikaru's YouTube video. Hans has been coming up. Have you played against Hans recently?
Been crushing it. I actually never faced Hans over the board. I think I met him for the first time in San Francisco many, many years ago. I mean, Hans was maybe like 7 or 8, and we played a blitz game. And I was like, dang, this kid is not, you know, he's not bad. And I could sense the talent, so, you know, and that was so many years ago.
Hans, you drew Magnus recently, right? I mean, he committed full time to competitive chess and he's giving it all he got. A lot of respect. I hope to see him make it. Okay, Alex is still thinking. She has 15 minutes.
Plenty of time.
15 minutes and 8 moves. She should get another 30, but she's low on time. This is looking stressful. He didn't draw Magnus? Someone told me that. Someone who I trusted. Are you sure? What will happen if she loses? Well, then next round, I mean, we'll share the pairing system, but she'll get a lower rated opponent, and she can definitely come back.
No, even if she, it's best to lose a game like this in the first round when you've got 8 more games to come back from, than losing it in the last round when you need to win to qualify, right?
Yep.
Eight out of 9 will win the tournament. Even 7 out of 9 probably.
Oh, Hans did draw Magnus. He did lose 4. Oh no, you lost the 4-game match. But you did get a draw.
Yeah, bishop c4 is also a move, but then takes, and bishop b7 skewers, or pins the rook rather. This is maybe also a chance. What are our odds at a draw?
Oh, she played bishop c4.
Okay, that's probably the second best. Now, what we're hoping for is that her opponent plays bishop b7 immediately, which is much worse than taking that bishop first. I hope her opponent plays really quickly and makes a sloppy move. Because here, Andrea, in this position, Alex could drop her own bishop back to d3 and keep both of her bishops alive.
Okay.
Which gives her serious chances.
Yeah, she'll have a bishop versus the rook. That's not terrible. King f7, takes.
DC.
And
now it's a game. It's a game.
Yeah. And I mean, luckily these bishops actually cover a lot of things. Like, they can't really come for the pawn chain. This knight is defended. It would be a little bit hard to defend this pawn, but I think the play with the bishop pair is much better, so let's hope.
Yeah, so her odds at a draw will depend heavily on whether her opponent takes this bishop first.
Yep.
Or plays bishop b7, which is very tempting because it wins the exchange.
Yeah, here I don't even know if you would... Do you take back? Yeah, I guess you have no choice. It's better here, and like you said, we push.
Take. Here...
Oh, is there something else she could have done?
No, actually, even in that final position, it's not over. I mean, she's got the passer, rook e6, knight d3.
e6, knight
and
d3,
you can't take the pawn because of the fork.
Yeah.
Chances, and all it takes is one little sloppy move by her opponent here.
Yep.
And she's taken the bishop.
Okay, she played the good line, and immediately comes bishop b7.
I am praying that her opponent makes this rook e6 move in this position. This would give Alex a lot of chances.
If this was like a blitz game, I would think it's very likely. But the fact that her opponent has 35 minutes, but you never know. It's easy to get overconfident.
And what we're hoping for is that her opponent rushes, right? Just thinks, oh, I've got the game in the bag.
Yep.
Let me just go and win this pawn real fast. And after knight d3, white is right back in it.
Yep.
So this is the big moment. So d5, her opponent is not capturing yet. Okay.
Yep, we're still in this position. She's thinking. She's taken. Alex has to take back now. Here we go. And now, let's see. Praying is how you win at chess. All right, let's see.
The best move is knight e8. The engine move is knight e8. Not an easy move to play because you have to drop the knight back to stop the pawn and then use the rook to do the rest. If she finds knight e8, you just got to tip your hat. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, like chat said, rook e6 is a rookie move, and she hasn't been playing like a rookie.
Rook e6 is not even a rookie move. It's a move that you can play if you're rushing a little bit. And I've seen people do crazy stuff like that in the endgame.
These young kids don't let games slip. I mean, yeah, you have to think about, and this is something Alex and I were talking about. A lot of the young girls in these tournaments. Oh, she's playing. Where'd she go?
Knight e8.
Wow. Perfect play. Oh my god.
She is literally playing perfectly. I mean,
yeah.
That's nuts.
Bishop
d4 maybe.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, like when you're in high school, I mean, their main focus is chess, and they're training chess every day. So she has a lot of preparation, especially when you're the lower rated player and you know that this first round you're gonna be playing a stronger player. They prepare a lot, so clearly it paid off.
And also, what's annoying is that she senses I can beat a 2000, so usually the level of play is greatly increased because they're motivated, and Alex has an X on her back, so everybody's like, oh, I can beat one of the top seeds, and that just often happens. They raise their level of play. It's just something you have to deal with when you're high rated.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I always loved being on the other side of the shoes and being the lower rated opponent challenging the higher.
man. Okay, so I would play bishop d4.
Bishop d4.
at least try to go after this
Yeah.
pawn. The problem is that black's pawn runs forward and you can't really stop it.
Wow.
So this is, I
Oh.
would put the drawing odds at
Wait,
about
wait.
1%.
Knight d3. Well, actually, do we
Rook
get
d1.
pinned? Yikes. Well, check. We have
Check,
check.
yeah, king f5.
But
Bishop moves to h8 and b2.
b2, you just give the pawn?
Well, there's a check on d2.
Oh.
Work.
Wow. That pawn is a killer. So you can't counterattack, as we see. So then, oh my god. I mean, yeah, this is kind of over. Knight d3. Attacking here. And now defending the bishop if there's a check. But that means we can never take the pawn, so...
Right.
You just can't attack any of these pawns then. Huh. Aw, Hammer's staying up watching the game.
Where there are knights, there are forks, so let's see. Let's see what Alex does in this position. Knight d3 or bishop d4, relatively speaking, probably the only moves.
Look, I'm going to be a realist.
Tomorrow.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say her opponent tomorrow is also going to have lost the first game, so hopefully will not be quite as underrated as this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of these, everyone from who's lower than number 3 is very underrated, but I mean, I'll be a realist here. I don't think her chances are great to win this game. I mean, not her chances are, I think this game is over, but there's 8 rounds. I think the biggest thing for Alex is going to be just a mental reset. She also came into this game after long travel. Hopefully, I mean, she has a lot of preparation for the high-rated opponents, and she'll have time to prep for also her low-rated opponents, which I don't think she was able to prioritize, so...
And listen, if she wins her next 2 games, she's right back at the top of the tournament standings. This is a small field, which means probably nobody is going to have a perfect score after 3 or 4 rounds. And, you know, she's a fight. This is where, you know, where real fight is shown. If you just won all of the games, it wouldn't be interesting. So
yeah, and Ju did play amazing, which is the reason why I didn't want to play, because I knew the 1900s who are my level are just amazing. Like, there was not a single blunder.
Nope. Well, Alex outplayed her.
Yeah.
Once they got into the endgame, her opponent played like a GM, like flat out.
Yeah, the endgame was great. Like, that G4 move was a little bit suspicious, but otherwise than that, and it wasn't even it was a slight inaccuracy.
Yeah, no, the middle game, Alex just played really, really well. But the decision to trade queens, that's where things really went off the rails.
And she rushed there too, which I've been thinking about these games also, so we can give her feedback. Like, Hammer's coaching her. I mean, she probably knows that she rushed that move, but it was just honestly the overconfidence.
I think queen g5 check as well. She rushed a little bit. I think didn't fully attend to the fact that rook e1 was a source of counterplay. So just like taking a little bit longer on decisions that look obvious, just making sure that there isn't a more convincing intermediate move, or that she's not closing herself out from various interesting other options.
Exactly. And so okay, we already timed them out, but it is not embarrassing. It is very common when you go into your first chess tournament after not playing for years, going up against people who are very well prepared. Like, upsets are very common, and it doesn't mean that you can't get up. So I think the competitive scene is just very different, chat. So to that one person who got timed out.
Yeah, somebody's asking, are there any tricks? I mean, very limited, because you just don't have any pieces left. Again, I wouldn't resign here. I would go knight d3 and just hope for a miracle. Pray.
Yep.
But
knight d3. Let's say what
rook e2 check is best.
King defending the pawn.
Yeah, king
but
g1
then you
rook
get like
d2.
This. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one we went over at the start. Knight f4, king f5, and then the pawn just runs.
Yeah, a similar idea.
And the black knight just, that's the big issue. It's white's c-pawn is going nowhere.
Yeah, this knight, because he has this rook to make up for, he doesn't really need this knight to play the game. Just restrict this pawn, and then this pawn is the winner. Yeah, I mean, this endgame plan, like, I can learn something from it.
10 minutes for Alex. She's going to make some sort of a move here.
Yep, the biggest thing will be shaking it off. She had an amazing middle game. It's very easy to lose focus when you have a good spot. Yep.
Yeah, it was just crazy that she wasn't more winning. I mean, it looked so overwhelming after bishop takes d5. Even I thought
Okay,
it was just
she's
almost
played
over.
knight d3.
Yeah.
We'll go in. I'm not gonna be surprised if Ju plays exactly what we looked at.
Yeah, I'm afraid that she will. But rook b1 is one way that black could mess up a little bit.
Rook
Rook
d1.
d1 also is probably good.
Just attacking the
My
knight.
guess is she might play rook d1, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll transpose to the same thing, no? I guess you could take the pawn. And then...
Right, then you get forked.
Oh, I always forget about this. And if we come here, it's the same problem than this. Oh, Rook d1 is a killer move.
Yeah.
You can't prevent
rook
this
d1
fork.
or rook e2 either.
Well, you could go back to f2. But then you have to prevent. You don't lose a piece, but now it's this. Yeah, there's a lot of winning plans here.
I'm impressed. Her opponent is taking her time. Like a lot of particularly young players tend to rush when they think they've got it in the bag, and that's how they often make sloppy mistakes. But her opponent has been very restrained, and time management has been really good.
Yep. No, she is playing a lot. I think she's 14 years old. She's very patient. A lot more patient than I was at 14.
I mean, I was not the most patient either.
Yeah, you were just writing books.
Well.
Why not take the fork and defend the knight by bishop? Oh, she's played. Is it rook d1?
She's made a move?
No, she played rook check.
Check.
Okay. Now Alex has to play like king g1 or king f1, giving the pawn. And then we're going to go into that line.
Yeah. King. It doesn't even matter where white goes. Black shouldn't even take h2.
Yeah, that's true.
I would actually play that if I were Alex. I would go king f1 in the
try
hopes.
To bait her?
Try to bait her into rook takes h2 and then actually trap the rook with knight f2.
Oh, oh
Last
nice.
trick. Last trick.
Yeah.
Just don't go king g1 here, Alex.
Yeah.
King f1, rook takes h2, knight f2, but her opponent is going to see that, and she's going to play rook d2.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
well, chat, I don't think it's a pride thing. It doesn't, like, honestly, I'm more intimidated the younger they are, because that just means that they have more time to study and focus on chess. I would rather play someone my age.
I think that people, and you'll second king f1, very good. People who come to chess from Twitch, and this is not the fault of anybody who thinks this. It's natural to think, oh, it's embarrassing to lose to someone young, but chess players don't think like that, because 14, it's not, I mean, it sounds weird for me to say it's not that young. You've had like 8 years of experience by this point. Chess players don't really think of their opponents like, oh, this guy, like, I need to beat this kid. It's just not a factor. It's you care about the moves, not the age of the opponent.
Exactly. Hikaru was a Giga GM by 4. Honestly, I think I peaked when I was 15. That was my peak rating. But that's also because then I got busy with school and then I started streaming. But, yeah, that was probably my highest rating, unfortunately.
I mean, there's GMs by that age, so.
Yep. When you were younger, did you want to dedicate your life to chess?
I was sort of swinging back and forth. I mean, really, no. I thought that I would sort of scratch the itch and then go to college and, get a normal job. And I mean, I thought that all the way through, as I said at the start, I thought that all the way through college, through like junior year.
Yeah,
chess has exploded, it was so much harder to make a living out of chess earlier.
Of course. Yeah, it's crazy to me because you can tell like you're extremely passionate about chess. I mean, you read history books about chess, you love them. You wrote books, you write puzzles. Like these are, when you were telling those stories, I was just like, yeah, this is why I didn't get into Stanford because you see like pure passion in these kids, and like I love chess, but I'll admit like my level of passion never reached yours, which is just surprising that like you didn't want to make your living be a chess player, which maybe it was because you're realistic, but
yeah, that's right. I was sort of always told that you
Okay.
can't make a living from chess, so you're not going to be doing it, and that's why you're going to Stanford. But when I realized that no, you actually can, and I
Gotcha.
incredibly fortunate that I can make a living doing what I love. I don't take it for granted even a
Hmm.
single day. So
So if you were younger and yeah, this is something that oh, she played
played.
wow, perfect
She's
play.
not falling for any tricks, like just not even
Yeah, I
close.
mean you can tell she's and honestly, yeah, I've made so many mistakes like this when I'm winning just playing fast, but she is taking her sweet time. So,
Tomorrow morning will be a big game.
yep.
Can she bounce back?
Um I was gonna say, so yeah, of course, like you said before, Twitch, there wasn't that much money in chess. Like, you really can't make a comparable living, like, unless you're, like, in the top 100, is my perspective. But if you would have known that there was, like, let's say it was a world where you could make as much money in chess as you currently are now, would you have set your goals differently when you were younger?
Probably, yeah, yeah. No, I definitely would have, and I would say even top 20. Like if you're
Yeah.
50th in the world, you're still. I mean, and
Yeah.
the money in chess was from coaching. Like
Yeah.
10 years ago, the only source of income if you didn't want to play was to coach. But coaching is grueling,
Yeah.
and people I think often think, well, they see that a GM charges like $100 an hour, and they say, oh my God, you must be raking it in. But how much can you teach in a day? A
Yeah.
single lesson, if conducted well, it's exhausting. It's
Yeah.
really hard to teach more than 2 or 3 hours a day. But if I had known that if the chess world would explode like this, yeah, I'd probably maybe even take 2 years instead of one. As a gap year, I would maybe shoot for 2,700 when I didn't
Oh,
have
you
other
took a
things to
gap year?
worry about. Yeah, after high school.
Oh, okay, nice. So you took a gap year to focus on chess, then went to Stanford.
Also, thank you, Mama Botes. I appreciate it. Yeah, I took a gap year. I traveled all around, played a ton of tournaments, and then I went to Stanford. And for the first year, I wasn't really missing it that much.
Yeah.
But then again, I started playing on chess.com, like all these sessions with Hikaru, and I started missing it tremendously. I was like, I need to be in the chess world. It's like the air that I breathe. Like, I can't not play chess.
What do
And
you?
not
Oh,
and when I say play chess, I mean teach and stream and all the other things. Sorry.
yeah. Of course, of course. I'm just very curious now. I'm gonna kind of dive into the college questions, but I'm curious.
Sure.
What did you take away, and what do you think is most useful that you used from your years at Stanford?
Well, I have a pretty unconventional answer to this question. I think the biggest single skill, other than, living on my own, and, chess players are notorious for like, you can find a 15 move combination, but you can't tie your own shoes, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I learned some skills, how to throw a Tide Pod into the laundry and stuff. But I think everybody learns those skills in college to an extent. I actually think I became a much better teacher. I think a lot of people like my educational content on my stream, and I greatly appreciate that. And I think part of where my teaching ability comes from is some of the most influential professors that I have, because I always loved teaching. So very often I would not only listen for the subject matter, I would also be really passionate about understanding what makes like a good professor really good. Like, what
Yeah.
is it that makes me want to get up at 8 in the morning, which I never do, and come to class? And a lot of the skills and the tools that I use in my chess teaching are directly drawn from professors and my high school teachers who didn't teach chess, obviously, but teaching is teaching. So that was a big thing that I think I took away.
See,
Obviously, not
I
all my
really like
professors were
that.
great, though.
Yeah. It's very
So,
interesting that it's nothing like that has to do when this is me because I'm biased and I'm like trying to justify to myself the fact that I don't think college is useful anymore. And I mean, of course, I mean for myself, and that doesn't apply to anyone else. But it's interesting to me that out of the 4 years, like the main thing that you really took away didn't have to do with the education itself or with the degree. I'm sure networking did come to some sort of advantage, but it was just more about like, your relationship with people and like just learning how to, like you said, learning from a good teacher how to be a good teacher yourself, which really is, does not relate to any of the subjects that you studied.
yeah, that's exactly right. And Chad is being super wholesome, but you're on the money there. And in terms of the networking, I was always really bad at like the whole like I would get overwhelmed at career fairs or internship fairs where you have to hand out your resumes, and like I'd often get questions. Oh, like I see you play chess because that's all I have on my resume. oh, like, how are you going to apply your chess skills in this
To
company or
college.
in
Oh,
Deloitte
yeah.
in an internship? Like, how exactly will you use those chess skills? And like that question is, it's a primitive question. I don't like using that word, but that's what it is. You can't answer that question directly.
Yeah.
Chess, it doesn't teach you like skills that you use exactly. It teaches you a way of thinking. It teaches you
Yeah.
a certain logic, and that's not a satisfying answer to a recruiter. So I had really a hard time with that kind of stuff.
I totally agree. Yeah, which I had the same experience, and like a lot of my students, they were also kids who, they're trying to use chess just for college, and their parents are looking for that exact same things, which it doesn't correlate. But oh, Alex just made a move.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what we expected.
We're gonna see King F5, Bishop H8, B3, I think.
So that's interesting. So you would say, so pretty much you became a full-time teacher after college, right?
Yes, that's what I started with, mostly coaching. Then I moved to streaming and then YouTube. And I was also writing weekly articles for chess.com for about 2 years. So I did a lot of writing at that point. I got really burnt out. I'm still burnt out from writing because of the amount of
No!
papers I wrote for my history major. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't look at a Word document. I couldn't look at the cursor. And I'm sure people can relate to that experience. Like, you just can't look at an empty freaking Word doc anymore. It's like too many memories.
Oh, I think her opponent. Wait, was I seeing something? Because my eval bar completely. I thought we had missed. I thought Alex had a comeback. My eval bar, she made a move and it dropped to 0-0.
Eval bar glitches. Sometimes.
I got so excited. And I like that Danya just didn't even. He just continued the story.
Well, I'm looking at the. I mean, I just didn't even see the eval bar, to be honest. I'm just looking.
Did you not hear me scream?
Well, wait. No, I actually didn't.
You were telling your story,
scream?
and I was like, "Oh no!" And you just didn't even flinch. Which I was
thought you reacted to the story. Like, I don't think I heard you. I think there might have been some interference. Like, if I had heard that, I would have stopped. Sorry.
I was like, wow, you and Alex. I mean, honestly, she's built up this quick reflex to zone me out. I'm like, I guess Danya just adopted it quicker.
No, I'm really sorry. I honestly didn't hear you. Like,
I'm
I
not
honestly
offended.
did not hear you doing that.
I was like so impressed that you didn't even react.
I'm in the zen. Okay, Bishop H8.
I was so excited that I only saw the eval bar jump up, and I thought we had a chance for a fork. But never mind, false alarm. Sorry, guys.
That's what I mean, if the eval bar had shifted like that, that's what it would be. There would be a fork.
Yeah, exactly. I thought there was some forced fork, but no.
Okay, B3, knight D5. Alexandra has to try.
B3, knight D5. Where's... Okay, I'm trying
B2,
to...
take it, and C7. That's
B2
basically hopeless.
And takes in C7. Oh, yeah. But then yeah. I have a feeling I think she's going to resign soon. I mean, yeah. Here, they just sack their knights, and they're up. Or do you not? Yeah, you have to sack.
Yeah, it takes rook H2, and...
Yeah.
Okay, hope for a fork, I guess. Knight D5, and hope for rook C2.
Yeah.
Hope for something crazy.
Which, let me say, if it was a blitz time format, I totally would put my money on Alex that she could swindle something. But it's so hard in classical chess. Like, once you make a blunder, unless your opponent gets overconfident and plays quickly, it's very hard to come back.
It's why classical chess is so brutal. You're exactly right. It's like you've got so much time on your clock that it's annoying. Like, you make one little mistake, and your opponent just takes forever to find all the right moves.
Yep, and they just really make the losing process nice and slow.
Right. It's pain. It's pain.
Exactly.
Like, Alex is in pain right now. It's so painful to be in this situation. Because you don't want to resign. You're still holding out a little hope.
Yeah.
That the game is basically over, so.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I wonder if that's her... Chat was asking if they're sisters, but I don't think so. Svetlana is still playing. Oh, I guess I could look at the games here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing two people with the same last name, but...
Okay. Yeah. What's happening on the other boards? Wow. Yep, the top two boards are top players are winning. There were no upsets, unfortunately.
Which is
Oh,
okay. That means Alex will have a bit of an easier opponent tomorrow.
yep. Yep. There's after. Oh, well, pretty much. Hold on. Oh, I think they play against. Do they play against the men playing in the Canadian tournament? Because there's only one, two. There's only 4 other girls who she hasn't played.
Wait, can you say that again?
So in Alex's section in the women's zonal, there's only 4 other girls. So I'm assuming that you play against the men playing in the Canadian Open.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
Which I think they, yeah, actually, I think they have to do that when they don't have enough players.
Okay, wait a second. Knight c7. It still wins.
Okay, she didn't go for the push.
Hesitated a little bit. I would go king e1 here. Go king e1.
Could they take the pawn?
Yeah, then knight e2.
Oh, it's
Try to. You're not trapping the rook, but you're trying to get this knight around to like b5.
I see. I wonder why she didn't push right away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe a slightly encouraging sign.
I wonder what she was looking at. Maybe I'm thinking if she had any fear, like, and no, I mean even if you defend it, doesn't like we looked right. You sack and you sack, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I wonder.
That's probably what she was going for.
Yeah.
What she was thinking is like let's prevent knight d5, but no, I would go king e1, and then maybe bishop d4 also.
So this is move 40, chat. So Alex has 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and she has to make a move before that time runs out. And now because it's move 40, you get an extra 30 minutes.
So she's got 30 minutes now.
She made her move? Oh, did it?
What is her opponent looking at? I wonder what she's...
Just zoning out, probably.
Maybe there's a demo or a DGT board behind them.
Oh, another opponent. Oh. We can see how many girls. Yeah, there's 2 girls playing. So there's Svetlana, who we can see in the back, so I'm assuming board 1 is playing right behind them.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, king. Okay, knight. Where did she go? Knight e2 immediately. Okay.
Knight
I like that move. Now, wait a minute. Now, 1 second here. Oh, if b3, there's a fork. If b3, there's a fork. That's a good move.
Yep.
Best chance, probably, by Alex. King
assuming...
e4 would be the best move.
Oh, yeah, and even, like, knight d4, you can, I think if they played knight e6.
Oh, shoot.
Is this a trick?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
This is actually a draw now.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I don't think she'll fall for it, but that would be cool. But I have a feeling from her pace.
She might. Knight e6, what you might say is, oh, I'm going to stop knight d4 in order to play b3. The reason I don't think she'll do it is because she's just blockaded the pawn of their knight. She won't unblockade it.
Yeah.
You can always pray.
I have a feeling the king will come, but, you know, there's a chance. We'll see what she goes for. She's thinking maybe she's getting tired.
And you never know what happens. Like, it's just sometimes you see the craziest things and you learn eventually that you can never count anybody out. It's chess. It's chess.
Yep, especially towards the end of the game. Like, they've already been playing for 3 hours. How is knight e6 a draw? Well, let's play it out for you guys. So
white's not worse. Knight, yeah, you can show knight d4, knight takes d4.
Yep. So right now, Alex played here, so that if she pushes, we have this, like Danya said. The best move for black is to just prevent this, because now we could just sack, and we'd be winning. So, but if she chooses to prevent this with the knight, we can force this trade. Let's say the knight takes. Oh, so if the knight takes right away, then we just push. And
you played king e4, by the way.
Oh, she did. Never mind, chat. I mean, I didn't expect her to blunder, honestly.
King e1 now by Alex should be tried. King e1.
Oops. Oh, I'm in the wrong variation. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, this is where we're at.
What you're hoping for is king e1, king e3, and then knight f4. And then try to get the knight to d5.
King e1, did you say king e3?
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. And then knight f4. Jesus, I mean, Alex's opponent has found like every move
Yeah.
that just eliminates all counterplay. It's nuts. It's impressive.
No, our opponent's been very strong. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
King E4
this,
is pretty natural. It's an easy move, but
yeah,
still.
yeah.
Okay, King E1, try at least.
Opponent is definitely not listening. She's very focused. Leaving us, unbelievable. Hammer just went away, leaving us with so many unanswered questions. I mean, he had only one job. Chat, you can ask me your questions.
It's his fault. We can blame Hammer.
Yes, exactly. I don't think she had time to prep. Or actually, no. Yeah, the Catalan was prep, but I mean, the opening was good. The opening was good.
The opening was great. No, it was
and it worked. So,
yeah, I mean, Alex might resign here, but
sad.
I would play a couple more moves.
Yeah. Oh, well.
This is a brutal game.
8 more games. She'll reset after this. I think it also hurts a lot more knowing that your little sister and your friend is commentating and your whole chat is watching. But I'll make sure to cheer her up.
Yeah, it's a hard position to be in because she knows all of that and she wants to win. And we would all be happy, and now we're all sad. But it's a long tournament.
We live and we learn. Thank you. Aw, Daniel Wrench, it's good to see you. How is Danya wearing a suit for this and never for... I don't think he's wearing a suit, but it looks like... It did at first. At first, I thought you were, because the red shirt looked like it was a tie. And it looked like you had a blazer.
I can see that. Yeah, we didn't coordinate, by the way. This is a complete coincidence.
If I was wearing red for Canada, I wanted to wear like a full like Canadian flag outfit, but I left them all at home, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. Is this board wrong? Oh yeah.
Position is okay, Bishop H8 B3.
Here it is. Okay, this is where we're at. Sorry, chat.
Yeah, it does look like a jacket. I mean, it's a nice like sweatshirt. It's from the U.S. Championship.
If Alex is winning and her last game is... Oh, actually, I don't know if Danya will be here, but I'll wear a full Canadian outfit if it's the last round and she is playing for her qualification for the Olympiad.
I think I can make it for the last round.
Oh, yay. I'll be more prepared than I was today. I appreciate you kind of carrying today.
Wait, when is the last round is on Sunday, right?
Sunday, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any streams planned?
I have to check my commentary schedule, but I think I can make it.
So you're doing... Nice. So are you covering
JSCC.
extra... What is that?
That's the Junior Speed Chess Championship, which is starting... Well, actually, the first match was played 2 days ago. And Danny.
Thanks, Danny, for the 10 gifted. Appreciate you. Thanks, Danny. And thank you, Minx. Thanks for the 13 months. It's good to see you. Good to see you guys. We're kind of just hanging out now because unfortunately this game is over. I think we're gonna see a resignation soon. But Danya, are you gonna be playing some chess after this?
Yeah. I mean, after watching a game, I need to hop on and.
Have you? What time control are you playing?
I mostly play Blitz and Bullet. I play 3+0 and 1+0 and. I need to get out of a slump. I've been struggling the last few days, so I have some winning to do.
Yeah, I feel that. Except your struggling is like, oh, I can't pass 3,000.
Yeah.
I know. Once my blitz is I would like to rematch Danya to some odds matches, but I stopped playing Bullet because I've been trying to improve my chess. And every time I like rage tilt from like 3-2 and decide to play one game of Bullet, it never goes well. So I need to improve a lot more.
Horrible. It's like you play one game and then you play 50. And then people, again, I've talked about this on my stream. People who don't think that raging in chess is, or who think that raging is not normal, just don't know what chess is like.
They need to see a chess rage compilation.
Right. No, I mean it's. Everybody rages in a different way, but everybody rages.
She's not mocking with the stretches, chat. I think she's just been sitting for a while. I know we're all salty right now when we're biased. Oh, she played. All right,
Bishop
Alex.
f6. She wants bishop d8, I think, in some positions.
Bishop d8. All right, so now after, I guess, no, also if king e3, she has bishop g, which unfortunately I don't think works because they'll promote, or, yeah.
Oh, king e3, bishop g5.
But is it even working? Because can we even take? It's still losing, unfortunately.
It's still lost. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks.
Black can quote-unquote fall for the trap. Now, she's also hoping for, like, king d3 or something.
King d3. What would
Wait a
fall?
minute. The knight's on c7, though.
Oh. Oh,
This
yeah.
is the position.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, no. So king e3 is a genuine blunder now.
Oh, yeah, the pawn isn't pushed. I don't know where I got ahead. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the position on the board.
Okay, she just...
Oh, rook d6.
Oh, my eval bar is broken again. I got excited again.
Okay, bishop e7. She's still breathing. Bishop e7. Oh, there is a potential for a fork.
All right.
So bishop e7, rook c6, bishop b4, rook c4. Move the bishop and hope for rook takes a4. Obviously not going to happen. But wait a minute. Now, if Alexander can trade the last pair of pawns.
Yeah. No, I like that she's getting rid of this passed pawn.
Yeah, if she can trade the last pair of pawns, at the very least, her opponent will have to prove it.
Played this.
Yeah, bishop e7,
okay,
rook c6.
she just took the pawn. I know Alex has to take here. And so now after pawn takes, rook takes. Okay, she just took. Yep. Alex is just going to have a bishop to the rook. But honestly, yeah, this is much better chances than what we had earlier with that passed pawn.
No question about it. So rook takes c4 played. Alex should move the bishop back to d2.
Okay. Yep. But the question is, after bishop d2, and let's say, king here, there might be a check. I was gonna say if she moves a check, aren't you just losing this pawn? But.
Oh, you mean which line?
Bishop d2, and if we just move our king so that there isn't a fork here. But I don't think you can. Oh, you could move your king here.
Yeah, this is also winning, which is why maybe bishop e1 I would play.
Oh wow, bishop e1.
Just
bishop
so that
e1,
king
you
d3
might
is not.
King here. Oh, I guess you have check. Never mind, and you win a pawn. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, bishop e1.
She plays bishop e1.
Oh, hoping for rook takes a4. Maybe
so,
her opponent hallucinates.
Yeah, let's say she moves like the knight. This is hard because as white you just have no moves. Like you just kind of go back and forth.
And it's like, again, the time. Like her opponent has so much time.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
58
she can just
minutes.
figure everything out.
Yeah, it is.
That's classical chess.
A lot of time. Yeah, chat. It is 58 minutes to 26. So. But she did not play knight d5. But knight d5 makes a lot of sense here, just defending this. But yeah, she's such a careful player.
Well, we're about to see a move. I think it's going to be knight d5.
Yep. No dirty
and
flag.
A5.
Oh, knight.
Wow.
Yep. And there's 30-second increments, so Alex can't use her strongest trait, which is the dirty flag.
Now a5, hoping for the trade. Unfortunately, her opponent's going to go b5, and then it's going to be over.
Okay, you predicted it. Hoping for the trade, yeah, just so that we don't lose the pawn.
Which is still completely lost, but at least a couple more moves can be played.
Wait, what? b5 is over just, yeah, because we can't stop this pawn.
And a6, rook a4, and there's no forks.
Yeah, a6, rook f4? Yeah, rook a4, you meant. I just messed up.
Right.
Yeah. She's thinking.
Yeah, and again, it's the time management by our opponent has been incredible. Just like never rushing.
Yeah.
Her opponent might disconnect. Okay,
never realized a single game can take this long. This is like relatively
not even long.
Yeah, this is pretty quick. I mean, it was what,
3
3
hours.
hours and a half? That's pretty
Yeah.
normal. That's average.
5 hours is normal. I mean, classical games they go on for. I mean, this game, if it was a different position, could go on for another
Yeah.
hour and a half at least.
Yeah, exactly. And then at that point, you're just kind of playing against the fatigue. So it's also like not necessarily who's just a better chess player, but who can play after 5 hours without getting sleepy and missing things. Which is why it's important to. Do you do like any sort of physical training as part of your chess tournament training, or no?
Yeah, I mean, usually during tournaments, I try to go on runs, or if there's a gym in the hotel, I try to run like a mile or
Yeah.
two the day of the game. I hate running, but I found that it helps get the blood circulating.
Yeah.
But the top players they have incredibly strict physical routines because chess is so draining. And there have been some ESPN articles on that, I think.
Yep. How many
So
calories?
it's
You can burn like what? Like a couple of hundred calories in a game.
Yep, and that's not even like that's true. And
Yeah.
I think about 3 hours in, you start feeling a lot of fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. I remember my dad would always give me, yeah, I mean, chat, you burn a lot of calories just thinking because you're thinking so intensely. My dad, he always said that dark chocolate would help you think. So, like, after 3 hours in, I'd have a little bit, but a lot of time I remember just nibbling on my chocolate and still losing, so I don't think it did a lot.
Yeah, no, I also had the same thing. Like the chocolate, you have to bring a granola bar or something to the board.
Yeah. I know
So
some chess players who, like, they don't eat before games because they say, like, the blood rushes to their head. Somehow that helps. Some people
I'm
do
like
the opposite.
that. I don't really eat much before. Like I if I eat something really heavy, I tend to pass out, and like
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
of
a
course.
nap. Of course, I mean if I like you can't have a burger before the game, or you're gonna be asleep in
Yep.
2 seconds.
Yes, it matters a lot for being able to stay focused long term here. Magnus stopped
Right.
drinking orange juice to avoid the sugar crash. Is that true?
Wait, who stopped Magnus? Oh, I think that might be true. Actually, I haven't seen his vint is what's the word?
Ooh, do we have any fellow chess players in the chat who have also competed? I see a couple. You play chess drunk on a full stomach. Well, good for content. Okay, what'd she play? She
D5.
pushed. Yep.
Man. Whoops, sorry. No, that's
All
not the move.
good.
Bishop. The funny thing is the engine feels like this is a little inferior, but to me it seems like
I
this
don't
is the
even
next
know
one.
how you stop this. I mean, sorry, how you
I don't either.
after rook a4 as well. I
You
mean,
don't.
I guess you don't have to push this pawn, but rook a4 and then b4. Bishop d2. This is the computer's line. Rook a4. Knight c1, b4. And the best, and yeah, king e2, and I
Knight
lose
B-
the pawn. Yeah, there's
Sad.
nothing.
She's made a move.
Okay.
Bishop f2.
Bishop f2.
She wants to go a6, a7, but I can see what Alex is going for, but her opponent's not going to allow it.
Yep. I mean, rook a4.
But fighting until the end.
You can also play rook a4 right away and win. Oh, I guess maybe bishop b6, but pawn push.
Yeah, rook a4. I think. Oh, no, that even that.
Oh,
doesn't
b4
work.
is just winning right away, actually, according to computer. But let's see if I can figure it out. I'm assuming because you can't stop the pawn.
No, a6, b3,
A6.
and then
or
a7,
A6,
a7, knight c7. You stop the pawn and the knight, and then black's rook completely restricts white's pieces. Like you can't
yeah,
get your bishop to d4 because it'll just be captured.
yeah.
But I often feel that some people put way too much stock in like when you should resign.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's nothing wrong in like, oh, one more trick.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more trick for you.
Yes, let's
Bishop
see it.
f2, rook a4 has been played.
Yep,
Yeah,
which she
promote
didn't see
this
the
line.
pawn push.
Go bishop b.
Hopeful.
Go bishop b6
Okay.
if I'm Alexandra, and hope for knight b6, a, b, and b4. But obviously
Yeah, it
black's not
doesn't
gonna do
even
that.
work.
Like, yeah. Well, bishop b6 is the last chance, though. Hope for knight takes b6.
But knight takes, don't you just rook a... Oh, you... Yeah, I mean, knight takes b6 doesn't help. You can still take.
Yeah, so knight b6. Okay, she's played bishop b6. Oh, rook
Okay.
8, knight c3.
Rook 8, knight c3.
Like after
Oh,
knight b6, it'd be rook 8. Sorry.
yeah, you're good. Here.
Still totally lost after king f3, but at least it's in
Oh
king e1,
gosh.
and you can hope.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah, no, there's
her opponent's gonna go b4.
yeah, there's not many things here.
Oh, what I forgot to tell you: b4, knight d4,
Interesting.
and if knight b6, ab,
Yeah, she
king
pushed b4.
d2, you can't stop the pawn.
Oh, wow.
So last chance before resigning is knight d4.
Yep.
Alex will play it.
That's currently where we're at right now. She just
No,
pushed
she played king
b4.
e1.
Oh, Alex played?
King e1. No, that's now it's over.
Yeah, I see her move now. Yeah, now how do you stop this? There's nothing.
Yeah, you don't.
Aw,
Beef.
Minx, thanks for the raid. Unfortunately, Alex is on the verge of losing this game, but you know what? She took a big risk. She traveled like 10 hours starting last night. She got in this morning. She went into this round. There's still 8 games. We're hoping that if she performs well in the rest of the tournament, she will qualify for the Canadian Olympiad team, which is like, one of the highest tournaments you can get into, which means we would travel to India together. So we really hope that she could do that. She's going to need a little bit of a reset after this game. How many qualify? Well, you have to technically first place qualifies, but because first and second place are already 2 of the strongest female chess players in Canada, they're already playing. Alex just needs to get third, which is very likely to do, considering Alex is the 3rd strongest, I believe.
Right.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, her chances, her chances are very good, especially the fact that I thought there were more girls playing, but there's player 1, player 2, and then after that, there's just 2 other 1900s, which are FIDE rated 14 to 1500. So that means Alex just has to do better than those, well, including this girl. So I guess
Yeah,
3.
and she, I feel like it's not the case that she played terribly today. She played quite a good game.
Yep.
There were 2 or 3 specific mistakes that I think can be avoided with slightly better time management.
Yep.
But the overall, I mean, again, her opponent, you sometimes just gotta give people credit, and sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Strong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just what happens. So nothing to panic
and
over.
If you doubt, I will ban you and time you out. No doubters allowed. Thank you very much. You've clearly never played a chess tournament, sir. Okay, I've timed them out. I don't like these doubters. Nice. Everyone must believe. There are 13 women in the tournament according to chess results. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Then that means that means I don't see all the games.
Yeah, there's an odd number. I can see it here. How many boards? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 13.
Oh.
I didn't even realize that either.
Oh, then there's more than I thought.
Wow, her opponent is taking her sweet time on
Yeah,
B3.
I know. She's really calculating this completely winning move. This is painful.
B3 is just over.
Come on, have some mercy. Yeah, I mean, I have to say respect to how cautious she is. She calculates every single winning move, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is among the most painful sensations. And you're sitting there and you're like, well, I can't really resign.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for your opponent to make that last move.
Yep. She's looking for any possible last tricks. I mean, she really wants to win.
Okay, I think she's about to make a move.
You're not allowed to resign while opponent moves. No, you have to resign on your turn, which I think after this move.
You technically can. I mean, technically you can resign on your
Yeah, I guess nothing stops you. Yeah, doesn't really matter.
Could Danya win from this position? No. The thing is, there's no magic in chess. If you're totally lost, you can put Magnus Carlsen in 10 different chess engines in front of Black, and she'll still win easily.
Yep. Yeah, Chet, there is a time limit, but the girl has 51 minutes. How much of chess commentary is analyzing body language? Well, I mean, at this point, like, we're both here cheering on Alex and we're watching her get destroyed. So we're like, please just end the suffering already.
Yeah, and you gotta keep yourself, like, you gotta compose yourself at the board, but what goes on inside somebody's mind when they're an experienced player and what goes on in their often has nothing to do with each other, how they display their body language. Like, Alex is not, thinking the happiest of thoughts in her mind. I can guarantee
I'll
you
send
that.
her a message. Well, she'll probably. I would like to. Oh! Wait, no, my eval bar is broken. Sorry, I get excited every time.
93. That's a weird
Why didn't
move.
she push? I'm so
Not
confused.
a good move. Knight C1. Knight C1, Alex. Come on, Knight C1. It's completely lost. It's still totally hopeless. But why didn't she push? I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, now, yeah, but after Knight C1, then Rook A3, and you could still push, right?
Yeah, no, it's still over. It's just a little lack of confidence.
She wants a soul to suffer. That's my prediction. She knows. She wants her. Maybe not, but I'm just confused why there was no B3. It's just there's clearly nothing stopping it.
No, I don't understand at all. Because now B3 is not possible actually due to the fork. But she wants to give mate. Her opponent wants to go Rook A1 and Rook D1 mate.
Rook A1, which after here we would just you'd go to D2.
Yeah, so Knight C1 only move.
Yep. I think chat. She's looking at the game behind her. Can you listen to music headphones while playing a tournament? Most of the time, no. Did you have any tournaments where you were allowed to, Danya?
Yeah, so I think the rules on this changed about 10, 15 years ago. Because obviously before smartphones, people brought iPods to the game.
Yep.
But for obvious reasons now, you could be on a Skype call with somebody. So now the answer is mostly no. And yeah. I never liked it when my opponents would wear headphones at the board. I just always felt like you shouldn't have...
Yeah.
Like, nobody has to listen to music as they play. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
I remember the one time that I did. It was because the hotel, we were playing in like a tournament area like this, and there was a hotel next door, and they were just so loud. Like, the people there were just partying all the time, and there was so much music that the arbiters were like, well, you guys are allowed to listen to music since like the people screaming in the background are distracting.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But it honestly didn't help me. It just distracted me even more.
Yeah, I find it hard to play to my full strength while listening to music. Like, when I stream, of course, I play music a lot of the time, but it does kind of hurt my concentration a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I read that some types of music, like classical music, actually helps you focus better. I was listening to, like, Dr. Huberman Lab. He has a podcast. He's a neuroscientist with a PhD from Stanford, but I don't know if it helps your chess.
Yeah, you can wear earplugs. I know some people do.
Yeah. Alex is in Kingston, in Canada.
Okay, Knight C1. Only move.
Alex doesn't have much of a... You know what? She's just returning the favor. If this girl wants to juice out the winning position, Alex will take her time too.
Her opponent's getting a little impatient, so... Maybe.
Are there any podcasts that you like to listen to, Danya?
Are there any podcasts? Well, I like to listen to... Let me think about that for a second. Do I even... I listen to the Perpetual Chess podcast.
The what?
Which is the Perpetual Chess podcast.
You would listen to a chess podcast.
A big surprise there, right? No, but I also listen to a Golden State Warriors podcast. I'm a huge fan of the Warriors. I'm a big basketball fan in general.
Sports, okay, gotcha.
NBA, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I started just recently. There's a history podcast that I heard about, and I just only watched it. People assume I watch it all the time. It's with Dan Carlin. I forget what it's called. Long day, but I just listened to the first episode of that.
Hardcore history.
Oh yeah. Hardcore history. That's right.
I've heard some good things. I think Magnus also likes that podcast.
Yeah, I know Lex Friedman. You mentioned that name. I've heard good things about him as well.
I feel like you and Lex would get along so well. I know he was interviewing. We were supposed to come on his podcast, and he was really excited. and we were like communicating, and then I don't know, he just didn't follow up, so we didn't want to be like pushy, so
Dropped
we
off the
didn't.
map.
So like no
Hmm.
one, yeah, which like we were like planning it for next month, and I was really excited, and then it never happened.
Also, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I am from the Bay Area, and I lived there for 20 years, so I've been a Warriors fan since they were terrible.
Oh, you're still in the Bay Area?
No, I'm in Charlotte now, but
Oh, okay,
I'm still a Warriors fan. I haven't switched my sports allegiances to Charlotte.
gotcha, gotcha.
Although I forgot to record the game today, and I don't know how they did, and I don't want chat to tell me how they did.
Charlotte is now like a really strong chess center, right?
Yeah, I mean it's got a great chess culture,
Is it as strong as St.
and
Louis?
uh, not in terms of the people who live. I mean, St. Louis is Caruana, Dominguez, Aronian now. Like in terms
Wow.
of the pure ratings, but I'm biased because I think what Charlotte has is a great grassroots chess culture. Like it's got a chess center, and there's a weekly game, and it's just very friendly to the average player. Not if you're not 27, 50.
Yeah. Interesting. I've never been to Charlotte. I visited St. Louis a couple times for Susan Polgar's things, but never to Charlotte.
Yeah, it's got NASCAR. I
Ooh.
mean, it doesn't have too many. I wouldn't recommend. I don't think it's in the top five like tourist destinations.
How come is
But
there
it's
like since there's a strong grassroots culture like you said, why don't you ever do like IRL chess for like a YouTube video?
I mean, I'm thinking about it. It's just a lot of setup, and
Yeah, the
I'm kind of
setup is
lazy.
very
So
stressful. But you
at some point, I'm gonna do it.
you can literally do it off of an iPhone. I don't know if you're an Apple user, but
Samsung,
I had a
amazingly.
feeling. I had a
You
feeling.
did do.
Well, then never mind. Oh, Samsung's probably good, but I filming off of an iPhone, like our first couple of videos, Alex's videos that went viral were filmed off an iPhone. So you don't really need a setup. You just need a little bit of a little tripod.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. No, I always get scared of like the tech setup, but
It is
yeah, no,
intimidating.
I'm definitely gonna do some of that.
Yeah.
And
I think
no,
Charlotte
it's
would be a
been
cool area
great.
to explore for that. And probably
It's a
St.
little
Louis
more
too.
affordable than San Francisco.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
I mean, I've also heard just like Bay Area has gotten, I don't know. Well, my friends who visit a lot of
Hmm.
as soon as you go like outside of the suburbs, they say it's like very unsafe. But
Well, yeah, no, the city of San Francisco right now is not in a very good place, but the San Jose and all of the yeah, like you said, the suburbs are fine, but yeah, SF has seen better days. I'll put it that way,
yeah. My
and
sister
hopefully we'll
told
see
me
better days at some point.
there was once like a homeless man chasing her, like holding like a giant, like not a knife, but like some sort of sharp object. So
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
heard some
I
crazy
don't really
stories.
go into and I visit often. I don't really go into the city, and definitely I won't go to a event at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club if it ends at night because you just don't feel good walking
Yeah,
around the financial district at 9 p.m.
yeah, exactly.
So
Rip San Francisco. That was
this is
always
what
my
it is.
dream
No, I
when I was
mean,
a kid. Palo Alto area is nice, but I have not been
Palo
outside of
Alto's
it.
great, and San Jose is amazing, and nothing beats the Bay Area in terms of restaurants and in
Yeah,
terms of the diversity of cuisine. It's honestly a food mecca. So just going
interesting.
to San Francisco for the food is absolutely worth it, and it's absolutely worth visiting.
Yeah,
It's,
well, I'm probably too salty to go anytime soon, but Alex and I want to do a road trip to Stanford. Well, not road trip. Want to do a trip to Stanford at some point. Maybe do some
you
content
should.
there.
Oh my God, you should absolutely go because the Stanford campus is, and I'm not biased at all, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Palo Alto
I
is
know.
beautiful. I mean, very overpriced. The restaurants in Palo Alto are not student friendly. I'll put it that way at all.
Uh,
Um,
oh yeah, I don't think you're aware, which just so my sarcastic comment didn't sound like snotty, but I got rejected 3 times at Stanford, and I recently just got rejected. I got my last rejection letter, and this time, in the letter they included that I'm not allowed to apply any more times, and 3 times is the
dang.
limit.
Well, their loss.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll still show up to their campus. I'll be like, you can't escape me!
You cannot stop me from going. I mean, it's very idyllic. Just it really caters to just the best kind of like it's you just feel great being there, and
No, yeah, the campus was
I'm very very
beautiful.
lucky. I just got incredibly lucky that I got in. I mean, it's just a complete lottery, and it's
Where did you grow up? In the U.S. or in Russia?
San Francisco. I grew up in San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay. So you
I
never
was
lived in
born in the
Russia?
U.S.
Gotcha. Oh, she moved.
No, even though I'm fluent, but the reason is because I grew up speaking Russian with my family, and I still do. And but my dad's side of the family is from Ukraine, actually, Kiev,
Oh, wow.
and
Oh,
my
my
mom's
goodness.
side of the family is from Baku, Azerbaijan. So
Oh,
did I, and that's how my grandmother, and I kid you not, sorry, my grandmother went to the same elementary school as Gary Kasparov's mother. You can ask my
wow.
mom. I'm not making this up. She knew Clara Kasparov's mother because they're from Baku, of course.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, probably very tight. Were they, was your grandma a chess player or no?
No, no. But I mean, neither was Kasparov's
Okay.
mom. They were like 7, right? But they weren't like close friends. But the first time my grandmother told me this, I freaked out. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll make you
no,
move.
like you're making this. She's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, like we're both from Baku.
I was thinking maybe they play chess because I know, like, for example, in like Romania, which is kind of similar area geographically, but okay, that geographically. But my dad, his grandparents played chess, and that's how it was passed on. So I thought maybe it was like a strong family tradition for both of you guys.
Uh-huh. And I'll get my mom on the show and ask her if you don't believe me. So I will back this up.
I believe you, Danya. Don't worry.
Right.
Alex did make a move. She played here knight d4,
Knight d4. Okay.
which we were same purpose as knight c1, but and if there's a check, we just run.
Yeah, check actually might not be the most accurate move because of. Oh, I know what Alex wants. Check. King d2, rook d1, king e2, rook d4. No, but this is still lost because the knight stops the pawn. Knight d5,
Oh, I
a7, knight
see.
b6.
Oh.
Yeah, Alex is in agony right now. I can. Oh,
All
rook
right,
a1
they
check has
played
been
rook
played.
check. I'm in agony. I don't like watching this slow,
No, this
slow
is painful.
suffering. Yeah,
Okay.
Alex. I mean, okay. I mean, like Donnie said, I don't judge where you would resign, but I think it's important for her to get rest. And at this point, it's just
It's
definitely
time.
over.
This is where I would resign.
Yeah.
I would go. Okay, I would go king d2,
Yeah.
and if rook d1, rook takes d4 happens, then I would resign.
Yeah. Rook d1. I mean, yeah, it's a forcing win. Maybe she had calculated and thought she could push and miss the knight. Maybe she was hoping for something.
Right.
Sneak
Okay,
attack.
king e2. No, but that just loses. Rook a2 check.
King e2.
Rook a2 and king d3 is mate,
Rook a2. And
and king d3.
so, yep. Say it goes back. Wow.
Yeah, this is GG.
Mate. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you. I had a
So,
sad moment.
Yeah, her opponent is dragging this out, dragging out the agony.
Oh, God. Come on, ladies. Just please wrap it up.
Just do the deed.
You have seen her having a comeback. Maybe this will set on her killing spree. I mean, I am confident that Alex will have good games after this round. I think she just got out her loss. And I bet it'll make her very
Got it out of the
motivated.
system.
Yes.
Rook a2 and king
All
d3,
right.
and Alex will
And
resign after rook.
Alex is still playing. Oh, wait, no, she's not. Never mind. Thought she
This
moved.
is a really good setup that you came up with. With
The
the
cam.
quality of the camera, like it's really good quality, and you can see the board. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a little bit. Initially, we're gonna have someone set it up for her and like a cameraman, so she doesn't have to stress it. But it's just a phone on a tripod, so it's really not too much, but it adds a lot to the stream.
Whoa. Nice c2 check. I mean, that also completely winning. Yeah, that's
Just
good
draws,
enough.
just trades everything.
Trades the
Okay.
pieces. Yeah.
I hate looking. I know her so well, and I can just recognize her expression, and it's just a sad look of defeat, and it just breaks my heart. It's like her look. It reminds me of this face when she had this sandwich that she really loved, and I don't know why, but she documented eating her sandwich, and then the face at the end when the sandwich was gone was just so sad, and it's just the same face that she has right now, and it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, you just feel this visceral pain. It's the most frustrating part of chess for sure. Losing,
It's the
and
sandwich face.
it's not even the losing itself. It's after you lose, you can recover, but it's the when you know you're going to lose, that's the most agonizing.
It is the sandwich Botez face. Okay, alright, we have some moves here. Alex is just, playing until it feels like she's really giving it everything. She's trying to go for her passed pawn here. I'm assuming she's
D3.
pushing. Yep.
Okay, it resigns. I
It
think
was-
Alex is resigned.
Aw.
Yes.
Well,
Got it out of her system. Better now than in round 8.
yep. She still has great chances for the rest of the tournament to qualify.
And-
Yeah, Danya. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say easier opponent tomorrow, somebody who's lost their first game too.
I mean, I believe
And,
Alex could beat even the higher rated opponents. I think, it was a tough day. Upsets happen. It's her first time getting to classical chess. Other opponents she'll be prepped for, so that's all we can do.
Yeah, most important thing now is just to get rest, and I know it's all the cliches come into play. Just shake it off. It's easy to say.
Yeah, I hate those
But
cliches. I'm not even going to
It's the
sugarcoat
when
any
you
of it.
lose. That's
Nothing
like the
helps.
worst thing to hear. Is like chin up or
I'm
like,
gonna
you don't
send
want to
her a
hear
text.
anything when you lose.
I'm going to send her a sweet message. But until then, Danya, I will wrap up my stream and give you some time to go live if you want. And as soon as I see you live, I'll send you a raid.
Thank you, Andrea. I really, really appreciate it. Just wanted to say again, I'm honored to stream with you and watch the game. I'm sorry that Alex lost. I hope I didn't bring her bad luck.
No, you are such a great commentator, and everyone enjoyed you. Honestly, it's a huge honor to have you come on my stream because I'm not a commentator. I don't do this stuff. What we've heard, Sag, Alex disconnected.
Right.
You're the pro here, so thank you for taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate it.
Of course,
And you were great.
I'll let you know, but I think I can make it on Sunday, and you have a great community, and it's great to see Alex getting this kind of support. So
I thought you were gonna say Alex getting destroyed.
Well, yeah, hopefully she will destroy, and I'll be
Yes.
watching and cheering her on tomorrow. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
I'll
Danya.
start up my stream. Thanks, Andrea.
Okay, we'll
Have
see you on
great
your
rest of
stream. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everybody. My pleasure. Bye.
All right, chat. I'm going to send Alex a quick message and say, I love you. I love you. Shake it off. Get some rest. Very good game. You just played quickly. Just played quickly when you were winning. I don't know what else to say. Keep your... I hope she's probably doing fine. Yeah. Well, now she's in Kingston. She's gonna go struggle to find something to eat. We'll see. We'll go full cam until then. Oh wait, actually, let me make sure that my dress is adjusted. All right, we'll give prediction. I wanted to show chat the news. Actually, it was quite hilarious. Where is my chatting scene? I lost the chatting scene. Yeah, she should. I wish I could order her something, but I don't think you can really do that there. Well, guys. Oh, Tim Horton probably. That was the first game of the Canadian Women's Zonal Chess Championship. Aw, Mapriel, thank you for the 5,000 bits. Honestly, her opponent was really strong. Alex played a great game, and she just played too quickly when she was winning. It happens, especially when you haven't been in competitive chess. Her opponent, with every single move, no matter how winning she was, she just took her time. And Alex did not do that in her winning moments, and that's just honestly some of the patience that you need to have with classical chess. I'm gonna pull up Danya's stream and see once he's live. All right, he is on starting soon. We are gonna be back tomorrow with a dub, I promise, chat. Let me see what time Hammer is going to be commentating. Hammer, Alex's coach. He's coached Magnus Carlsen. He's a great commentary personality. He will be streaming from our channel. He's going to be live at... Oh, never mind. That's not tomorrow. Oh, Alex has just one round tomorrow. That's nice. Wait, when's... Oh, wait, never mind. It's just not in the schedule. Okay, I don't know when he's going to be live, but I think Hammer's streaming tomorrow morning early. And then I'm going to be doing a second stream at 2 4 p.m. PT, same time as today. And we're going to be live every day until Sunday, until the end of the tournament, hopefully cheering on to Olympiad. There's 2 rounds tomorrow, yeah. Also, if you guys want to, I think we have, what is the collab? Is it Olympiad? Alex, do you want to call on Discord? Only if you feel like it. We'll give you a little pep talk. I'm on Discord if you want. Ooh, and tomorrow we're going to be commentating with Eric Rosen, chat. Honestly, I was like kind of a bad co-commentator today because I was all over the place, but I'm going to be a better one. Let me see if Alex wants to call on Discord. Hey, we're here. We'll call her, see if she's calling. Hello. Hey, sister, I love you. You don't beat yourself up. It was a great chess game, and I have feedback, and it wasn't even the chess. It was just the pace in when you had a winning position. So your play was very solid today.
I hate chess, dude.
I know.
I traveled 18 hours to lose to a fucking 1400 FIDE rated player. Because I'm gonna lose maximum FIDE rating from this point because obviously nobody in Canada plays as much FIDE as they should, and then on top of that, I lost the first round after all this. I feel like
I know you do. I was expecting this. Just first of all, I mean
thank you for sending me a message. I saw it as I was leaving the room, and I was so sad. But at least you messaged.
No, Alex, listen. Okay. Look, it's the first game, and you're gonna have this anger fuel you. You have very good chances. You didn't have time to prepare for her, which, nevertheless, you didn't lose because your chess was bad. It was honestly the patience. After your queen check, you took the queen, and so the queen check that you played and the queen takes, you're doing better there, but you played those were your fastest moves, whereas your opponent, no matter how winning she was, she juiced her time. She took 5 minutes, no matter, like, crushing the game. So if you would have just
getting low on time, but I did.
You were up on time.
I played queen takes and king g2 too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was fine.
Exactly. You needed to be a little bit more patient, which is just building back the habit in classical chess, which you could see that even your opponent was taking her time. But your chess was good. You were well prepared, counting that you've just traveled, you just arrived. You have 8 games left. Danya told me that when he played his high school chess championship, he was like 2,300. He lost the first round to 1,500, and then he won all the other games. And you can do the same thing. You have very good chances. Don't let this beat you up. Take some rest tonight.
Did he really, or did he make
No,
that
he
up
did.
To make
I
me
will
feel
send you the
better?
VOD, and he told me that before you lost, so he wouldn't have made it up at that point. So it's very, very possible to come back. You just need to end top 3, which means you just have to beat the other fake 1900s who are 1400 FIDE, but actually clearly much stronger. But you're better than them. You outplayed her. You only messed up because you played quick. You get some sleep. Hopefully find some food in Kingston. And tomorrow you're going to have we're not going to underestimate the opponent, but you're going to play someone who lost. So I think your morning round will go well. Then you'll be able to play your 3rd game who you prepared openings for, and you're going to be set up to win the rest of the games.
I'm so sad, but
I know.
I appreciate the pep talk.
I know. It happens. I mean, honestly, if I would have played, it probably would have been the same thing, but this doesn't mean that the tournament's over. It's 1 game. It is your first tournament in years. Something's going to go wrong, right? And it's very easy. You can definitely come back from this, but you have to make sure that you don't let this ruin your mentality for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't do anything about this. You honestly outplayed her. Like, that wasn't, so it's not like you even were underprepared. And imagine that you're playing against these 14-year-old girls who did nothing but study for you, probably for the last couple months. And she was probably very well prepared, and you still outplayed her in the opening and got a better position. So it was just timing and patience. And I think also, like, your games are going to get longer, right? You're going to be playing more than 3 hours. So you have to make sure you're rested, you're eating well. So focus on your health, because you can't do anything about the preparation, which was good. So just take care of yourself until the next game.
Okay. Thanks, Andrea. I appreciate you, and I love you.
We love you. We're all cheering for you.
Okay.
I hope you find some food. in Kingston. I would order you something if I could, but I don't think they really have that there.
I'm too sad to eat.
No, please, no, please eat dinner. You just got off a long day of travel. You need to go on like a little, well, you probably can find a treadmill in the hotel, but please eat some dinner.
There's a gym. I think I might go to the gym.
And then get yourself a dinner. Don't punish yourself for losing, because you need to have a good mentality. You need to take care of yourself for your next game.
Oh.
You got this.
Okay.
And
well, I appreciate Danya for co-commentating.
He was great. He was very proud of your play. It was just those moments where you were quick. We were both proud today.
Okay. Thanks, Andrea.
Okay, all right. We love you.
All right. You
Okay.
guys too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, chat. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry I let you guys down today.
You didn't let us down. You have 8 rounds left. This is just one of them. You're good. All right. Love you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Oh, I knew she was gonna. I could tell exactly what she was feeling, but it's far from over. It's just one game. It's gonna be the most epic comeback ever, chat. Okay. Imagine losing to a 14-year-old 1500 and then crushing everyone in the competition, beating board 1, beating board 2, going to Olympiad, taking your little sister to India. It's going to be even more epic when we win the rest of the games. This is just a debate. We need a narrative. We need a storyline. We need a people on the edge of their seats, okay? She's going to do this. I hope she takes care of herself. Sandwich face, sandwich voice. It was the sandwich voice. I wish I could be there in person and cheer her up. But I know if I would have played, honestly, I probably would have been in the exact same situation. So, alright, chat. Thank you guys for hanging out today. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. We're going to have her awesome coach commentating. Then me and Eric Rosen. Like, we have so many great personalities lined up. Thank you guys for hanging out and enjoy GM Nerditsky. He was like the best co-commentator ever. And I really appreciate that these players are taking the time of their day to help me and Alex on this tournament.